us. Yes. They can hear us now.
Listeners, can you give me some snare in my headphones?
Oh.
Because
1, 2.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's gonna be. No, you should be this one. 1, 2.
yeah, that's the stuff.
Oh. Turn.
Yeah,
Turn me
I
up,
can turn you
Daddy.
up. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's good.
it's Mr. DJ, Rick V Dub, the two most loyal YouTube watchers for us, anyway.
Yeah, we are. Sweet.
Wow, that was scary. I forgot I cleaned my desktop,
Yeah.
and I thought a bunch of stuff just disappeared.
You know you can just hide the stuff on your desktop?
I prefer to just have nothing.
But it doesn't go away.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're
What do you mean?
sleeping under a proverbial carpet.
I needed to clean disk space.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I prefer to hide it all
Clean.
and just use.
That's how I clean the house, and then my wife opens the closet, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
It's all there.
Yeah,
It's all there.
It's like the Homer Simpson meme.
yeah,
It's all
exactly.
zip tied and shit.
Oh, great way to clean.
I don't even have a recycling bin on my desktop.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing.
I have nothing on my desktop.
Hide it all.
That's a good. Yeah. At one point, I tried to do that. I also had a image of files or like a shelf where you could put files
them
on
the shelf.
specifically. That
Oh,
worked
yeah, I
for
had
a little
that.
while.
Yeah.
I do the. I use everything off the quick launch bar because I'm just so used to
It's like-
OS X. So
Are you fucking with me? How are you
No.
doing that?
What do you mean?
You have the mouse under the table?
No.
What do you mean? I'm showing you. I'm moving my hand and the mouse.
We that's set up on his machine.
With a
Not-
HDMI cable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you think this was happening?
I don't know, dude. That freaked me out.
Yeah. Right click.
Well, how are you going to do that thing? Grab
I
the
just
ma-
get up and click that quick.
Yeah. He just starts it.
that's the same. I do mine the same way, so that
Yeah.
way when we're talking about something, I can
You just
rip it up on
Yeah.
the screen.
drag it right over.
Yeah,
It's nice and easy.
pull it up.
Oh yeah.
Pull it up.
There we go.
Let me get these numbies real quick.
Yeah, grab those and we'll get the baby started.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Perfect.
Pull them up.
I don't know if I think Chuck told the story before where his family let that like Christmas or birthdays when someone would get something, everyone would scream, "Hold it up!"
Oh,
Oh, that's
yeah.
my
Hold
family.
it
Yeah.
It's great.
My aunt, dude. You cannot get a gift without. She knows what she got you.
Yeah.
She's like, hold it up. Let me take a picture. We're like, no. There was one year where we just definitively put the foot down. We're like, no more.
I can no longer live like this.
It was like sometime late in the 90s, too, when like fleece was big and everybody was getting fleeces. So
getting fleeced up.
we called it Year of the Fleece. And everybody's like, hold it up, fleece.
Hold it up.
What'd you get, a fleece?
Yeah, it's a good time.
Sherpa. What is that?
Yep.
What is that polar sitting on?
Oh, this is my 3D printed can spacer to fit in the tall boy.
He brings
koozie.
so many trinkets. He's just got trinkets.
So you can use
So
one
the
koozie.
tall boy koozie.
Yeah, see, right now I have my 16-ounce holy water hop water in there.
Big shouts, Widowmaker.
Big shouts to Widowmaker. And then when I'm done with my hop water, I'm going to drop this guy in there. And I got that.
Oh,
And-
so you brought the
It's a
adapt
spacer.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
spacer.
spacer?
Yeah, it's from our friend Joe at Perfection Plastics. Big shouts to Joe.
That's great. What's
So
it made
the-
out of?
Plastic.
Plastic. You can see it's
Wood. It's actually made of wood.
actually perfection as well.
This has this is actually the revised version. The first version did not have the holes, and
Suction.
Ryan from Topics Under the Stairs complained that he did not like the speed in which the spacer fell into his koozie.
Yeah.
So Joe revised it with
He
these
perfected
speed holes.
it.
He perfected it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, so originally it would just do like the.
Yeah, which I actually found very satisfying.
Yeah, that's a good.
You should sell both then.
Yeah, he should sell both.
There should be a relief though, so you could get it out easy.
Like a
So that
pressure
would be
relief.
my only complaint is trying to get it out.
Yeah, but with the holes,
with the
With
side
the holes,
holes.
there is
though,
no.
Yeah.
it just
These were always there.
Instant
Yeah.
release.
The revision is those little holes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we have
really satisfying sound.
gotten a lot of good 3D printed things.
The old thoop.
Yep.
Where Dwayne the Cock go?
Dwayne the Cock Johnson's
He's
over
over
there.
there.
With the wig
I
on.
put the mullet. I had to Just didn't want this big fucking throbbing thing just showing for everybody to see.
Excellent. You got what I need?
Yeah. Here's this
I'm
one.
not gonna lie, I'm interested by this. Like, I would koozie the fuck out of my
And
cans if I had
then-
one.
Right? It's so good.
Can I hold it?
Yeah, I love that koozie. I take it everywhere with me.
I like it. It's
It's-
a good size.
It's lovely.
like if they made it a little bigger, I wouldn't want it.
No, and it's one of those things like I never knew. I always saw them, and I never knew I needed one until like
Until your drink stays cold for way
yeah,
too long.
exactly. It's amazing. And then ice fishing, my hands didn't get cold from it. It was great.
You need the other
The
one?
first one. Yeah.
Nothing but positives, really.
Really, nothing but positives. Like I do have
this way.
these two, but this is better.
You're
you know?
strapped.
Yeah.
Dude, I told you he's got
It's in the
just
car.
stuff. He's just got so many things.
Gotta
He's
keep
like
it
a
in the bid.
magician. He's gonna
Yeah.
pull a dove out. No, it's koozies.
All of the accessories.
Oh my god! I sent John and my wife a video of
Pull it up.
speaking of doves. Can I? No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Actually,
you have to DM it to Corey, and then Corey would have to open it on Instagram.
yeah, it'd just be a pain
on,
in the ass.
on the browser.
It was a funeral, and it just said my grandfather would be so proud. And there was 3 individuals holding doves, and the first dude goes to let the dove go, and he just does one of these, throws it, but like you're just kind of freeing the dove, and it tumbled out of his hands and slapped the ground because it was dead.
Oh, it died.
It was dead. And the middle one, she does it, gets released. And then the third
good.
one.
How did 2
Also
of them die?
So I asked the same question, and my wife's like, yeah,
so good.
if you hold them for too long, they get stressed out and just die. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's 2. That
Yeah.
one was successful, right? And this,
It's just too good.
it's just,
Dude, that dove went full rig, like instantly.
oh yeah, that was
It was like this. When it hit
rigor
the ground.
mortis had set in for about 5.5 minutes before.
Dude, it hit
Yeah.
the ground like a book.
It thuds.
Yeah,
There's
it
a
was like-
thud. It just
Oh.
it's like
Like
full
its feet
confirmation.
stayed out and everything. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
full confirmation that thing is no longer with us.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is an omen.
Jim Connors, same here. I hate when I just die from being held. I think that's where that song came from. Died in your arms tonight.
Oh yeah, it's about a dove.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. I want to close this. Close this. You got your numbers. That's good. I need my notes.
Is this the first time this has happened?
What's
Have
that?
you been on this?
A few times,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Multiple times.
Not since I've been here.
No, you just don't come here so frequently that you haven't been here the last couple times
Sure.
you've been here. No, I think I've actually probably only been on once since you've been on the show. There was one week that
I know Josh was on there.
yeah. There was one week that you, Chuck, and Corey all were away, so I came on like last September, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would make sense.
I'm all good when you are. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Josh Garcia, and this is the Revival Motoring Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Corey.si
Hello.
and Shook TD.
That's right. As always,
As always,
every time we never skip a beat or a
Every
day.
week.
somewhere. You're
Every
somewhere
week,
there. You're,
always on time.
You're just like a heart palpitation. That's how consistent
I'm a
you are.
murmur.
You're a murmur. And on this week, joining us is my good friend, Mr. John Stairs.
Hey yo.
He is going to talk to us about his Mark II project. He's going to be dealing with a lot of hot wieners this coming weekend, so we figured we'd toss about the meat. And we want to talk about the Mark II market in general, maybe not just cars, but some hard-to-find parts, and the prices those things may or may not yield these days. With that said, before we get officially rolling, you can go to our website, revivemotoring.com, where you can sign up for the B for B. What is B for B, you ask? Shook will fill us in on that info later on.
Sure.
Or you can go there and find some of our merch offerings to help support the show. So with that said,
If you'd like to leave a callback number, press 2.
I have a callback, but it's going to take me a moment to pull it up.
Well, Josh has a moment to pull that up.
Pull it up.
Pull it up. I have a callback to a news. I'm sure we're going to talk about it a little bit. And the callback is the F1 car livery kind of unveiling that took place.
What a fucking...
Red Bull pulls up. Everyone's kind of pulling up in a car, right? In a car to the unveiling. So Red Bull pulls up in a Honda NSX.
Yep.
And it's like, it's just a sign of the times. There isn't anything currently offered cooler than a almost 30-year-old car.
Yeah.
True.
Not even their
Red one.
current Type R.
Yep.
True. Did the Type R looks awful? Looks like an Audi.
Yeah, it's just like not even their new Acura, Integra, whatever, Type, whatever they call it. An
Type-
almost 30-year-old.
The Type Mess.
And
That's
it's
what I
like-
call it.
Yep.
I mean,
the
and it
Type
has a F1 ties, obviously.
And yeah, for sure. And if I'm not mistaken, it was also the pop-up version as well. So it's Gen 1. I'd have to look back at it to be sure. But I just saw it and I was like, I mean, it's really cool. It's definitely the coolest car that anyone showed up in. IMHO.
Yeah.
But like out of like that manufacturer's lineup, there wasn't even like a prototype like that you could like
That's
show
sad.
up in. Besides a 30-year-old, I keep calling it 30 years. It might not even be 30 years, but 20,
Probably close.
20 something, 20 to 30 something.
First gen, I think it came out in 88, 89.
There you go. So almost 30-year-old car. So
35 years old.
crazy, right?
Yeah, as Matt Wood said, Acura isn't sold outside of North America because we're too dumb to know that Honda can make a good quality car.
Yeah.
Similar to an Infinity and all the other fake brands to
Also-
trick people into buying premium
I
cars.
called it a Honda NSX.
Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100.
But red. Good color.
Solid color.
Good color.
I'm glad you've
Fastest color.
you've seen it. I'm glad.
For sure the fastest.
Hard to miss.
What was it last week? What was that?
It was actually another Honda. It was the Passport Trail Master.
Good looking car.
Dominator.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
That I thought was red. It was technically orange.
It's wonderful.
I got 2 callbacks.
Okay, I have mine now. I did find it. So I mean, if you want to go,
I got
you go, I
long
go,
but
you go, I
short.
go. Okay, you want to give me the short one?
They picked up my engine.
Oh, right. Yes,
Engine 2.
has been picked up,
I have not received word of engine 3.
and
you
they
gotten
still have
money?
your money.
It's been a week. Yeah.
So no engine, no money.
No engine, no money. Bad situation, worse.
I mean, you agreeingly gave them
Allowed
the engine
them
back.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
The good news is I could just
dare I say, in good faith.
just call the bank at any
Right,
time.
right. There could be
Tell
a
them to stick it up their ass. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. The other. I went to the Lock City banquet
yep.
and I won a driver's appreciation award.
Oh, that's nice.
Wait, you did go to the
Nice.
banquet.
I did, and I forgot the award.
I thought we were told otherwise.
Who told you I didn't go?
Didn't someone last week say he didn't go in the
I went.
chat?
No, I went.
No, good. Hey, I'm happy you went.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I
So
won
you
an
won an
award,
award.
and I forgot it.
What was the award
So now it's
win
gone
for?
forever?
Cam has it,
Oh, okay.
and then it violently icicled the entire weekend, so I didn't hit him up to go grab it.
Right, right, right.
What was the award for?
It's just driver appreciation. I didn't really hear what Mike was saying.
Participation.
Yeah, it's mostly
You
participation.
got a blue ribbon.
I couldn't hear what Mike was saying because I was walking up trying not to fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right. We
I
as
can
we
only
weren't at
concentrate
dinner.
on 1 or 2 things at a time.
As we weren't at dinner, it's it's one thing. It's not eat or two.
Well, the
it's
other
one
thing is usually breathing. So if I'm doing 2 things, I hold my breath.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Is that why you close your eyes all the time?
Sometimes.
Makes sense.
Call back to my callback. It was a pop-up NSX, so it's
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
okay.
every bit of
So
30.
it's what we like to call BIS.
Yeah.
BIS, which
Also-
stands for best in slot.
Liam Lawson, the other driver for Red Bull, like clearly could not figure out how to get out of this car.
Similar to Shook getting out of the back of the Model 3.
Right. A lot of
Can't figure
a
it out.
lot of,
yet.
as they say in the spooky world, was it serendipities?
Yeah,
Is that what they say?
sure. I don't know what you're talking about. Only hold my breath.
A technical word for coincidence.
Oh,
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
there's
Callback.
another word for that though too.
There's some
Synchronicities.
synchronicity is I don't know. I thought there was a word. Anyway, Emery Pickering callback for last week's episode. I live a half hour south of Bangor, Maine, and you have at least one listener in this neck of the woods. Thanks for pronouncing it correctly. I daily my 97 two-door Cherokee. It's been good to me for 2.5 years. Drive old cars.
There you go.
Solid callback.
I see
agree.
people driving Cherokees all the time, and typically when I see them, I'm like, I want one. I want the pain. I don't know why. I'm a big off-road guy now,
What
though.
kind of? Yeah, I bet. What kind of Cherokee would you want? Like what generation? Give me some bullshit 2-letter thing.
Is it the XJ? What's the one that's like a box?
The square one.
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah.
Just a pile of shit. It's a Connecticut special. In Connecticut, there's only 2 vehicles you see. The
Square-okie,
Jeep XJ
yeah.
or a Subaru.
Yep.
All of them.
That white one, actually, you know what? That white one looked pretty good.
They're cool.
What this?
Yeah.
Come on.
That was pretty
Oh,
good.
see, I like the black one in the middle with like the color matched bumpers and stuff,
That's
and the color
hot,
matched
yeah.
over fenders.
Yeah.
That looks like a GMC Typhoon, but
I was
a
going to
Jeep.
say, right, if you
Yeah.
squint a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that they had pickup trucks of this too.
Yep.
Yeah,
And those
those
the
are cool.
Comanche. And
Yeah.
those are fucking cool. And they were like, let's bring it back, and they named it the Gladiator, and it's fucking awful. So
Yeah, it is. It is.
nice job, guys.
Yeah.
I like them. I don't know.
Doesn't make it move.
Look at the
I mean, I'm
look at
not.
the wood grain.
I'm not. You know,
The dash is actually
Gonna-
sick on those
I'm
too.
not going to take out a bank loan to go get one.
No, but
I
if somebody
know
gave you
someone
this,
who
you
will.
would drive it. That's a nice one right here too. They're also really good off road. That's like the running joke. It's like,
Would you pay $39K?
wow,
No.
it's a 2001.
It's
I
a
felt like it
resto
was
mod.
way older. Everybody, that dude,
I hate that word.
the resto mod is endless.
You can't. There's no
I don't know what
I
they do.
digress.
What they do to resto mod it?
190 horsepower.
Put
babe.
LED headlights.
It's
got
got a B16 in it.
I hope so.
It's got newer Jeep wheels on it.
It's got a
Hulk
7-inch
speakers.
infotainment system.
Oh, they're Rubicon wheels.
They might be Rubicon wheels. It's true.
Oh, jeez.
$37,000.
It has those ugly headlights that you can get at AutoZone.
Don't worry. For $40,000, you're gonna have your light output's gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
Staggering. This inside better be miraculous.
It's free.
Photographer did the damn thing on these. Let's say that though.
Listen, I'm doing that to a Mark II in my garage right now, and it's not going to be $36,000.
Yeah. Looks like they reused the old carpet.
Yeah. It
Probably.
does. It's all faded.
Look at it. Jesus.
And they did like the,
Look at
the
this.
striker's not
What
even
the fuck is
clean.
Yeah.
going on?
That striker should be zinc plated.
Yeah, clean it up a little bit.
$40,000. Someone's been had.
Yeah.
What does Chuck say? Someone's walking around with $38,000 in their pocket.
Right.
Yeah, my mom says there's an ass for every seat.
Yeah.
As you guys say, it only takes 2 idiots.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
They just showed a picture of the floors
Dude,
to
look
just
at
show
this.
you that they're still there.
Dude,
That's why they took
It's
the
cat
carpet out.
skins. Need
those
a
are
little
the
more steam.
loosest cat skins I've ever seen in my life.
Need a little more steam in that seat. Oh wow, you can actually see it if you go
You can
back.
like see the zipper on the
you
back.
can see it. Yeah, on the bottom right. It
Yeah.
just
Oh, that's rough. This is
30,
bad.
37K, by the way.
Some sorry person.
Is it already sold? Probably already
Apparently, it's the way the article that I didn't read reads. So
sold. All right.
Ugh, that's a
anyway,
shame.
XJ.
Yeah.
Carry on.
you're just big in the off road game now, right?
It's so much fun. I think it's kind of like drifting in a way where it's like you go to have fun. There's no other outcome unless you break a bunch of shit. You just show up and you have fun. There's no it's a pendulum. There's nothing in between. It's you broke something or you have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Same with off-roading. You can expect one of two things. You fucking broke something or you're just going to have fun. It could be something as simple as like just a a fire road. It's still fun to drive down.
Yeah.
I rode in the Fire Road in Freetown Forest with Anthony and his lifted Outback thing, and it was fun as hell. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
I can see that for sure.
The faster you go, the more fun it gets also.
Right, but then
confirm.
the likelihood of
Death?
not even dead, something breaking. Is just,
Can
Or
confirm.
crashing into
Yeah.
somebody.
yeah.
But it's cool. Like I like the idea of like wheeling out in the woods,
yeah.
whipping out a cooler,
Oh wow, I didn't know that's where you were going with that.
you know, whipping out a giant,
What's a
fat,
Slim Jim?
veiny meat stick that you packed in your cooler and enjoy nature out there, you know?
As you fucking snap into a Slim Jim. That's all I want to hear. The birds and fucking.
All natural skin. Yeah.
I mean, wheeling's just like the equivalent of like falling in slow motion. It's just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are we doing?
It's fun.
Catch yourself. Stand up.
It's fun. Crawling rocks is fun.
Crawling
Matt
rocks.
Wood, appreciation donation.
Wow.
Big shouts. Thank you very much, Matt.
$20 towards that XJ.
True.
Yeah. We got some cases to open.
Only 36,000.
We do have cases to open.
We do. We have to open up some CS cases.
John, I don't know if you heard about this case.
Oh,
If
my
you
knife!
mentioned-
My knife sold
What did it sell for?
$1,100.
I literally don't believe
I'll
it.
show you the
You
deposit.
made $1,100 off. that.
$1,180 actually.
Are you taxed on that? How does that work?
I hope
you
so.
get 1099.
I fucking hope so.
No, if you sell over $5,000 worth, yes.
I don't know Connecticut state law, so I can't speak on that.
That's
What kind of knife was this?
It's like a. Think of it like a.
Like
what-
the sword
It's
that
a-
was pulled from the stone
It's
and
a
that.
it's a digital knife.
Yeah, think of
It's
it.
not a
What are
physical
the
product.
things that people pay? The pictures.
It's a digital-
It's like a.
In,
Like an
in-game skin.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
literally an in-game
Yeah.
skin. So
Yeah.
you buy
Yeah.
keys
Yep.
for $2.50.
Okay.
You open a case in the game,
Oh, I see.
and then you get a
Counter-Strike.
chance to unbox an item.
Yep.
And I just so happen to have unboxed a knife.
So, what'd you get? Like Digicamo knife or something, or what was so cool about it?
I don't know. People like it.
What was the name of it?
So you could Google it if you'd like. It's a tiger tooth karambit.
That sounds sick, actually.
Crambit?
It's with a K, but that'll do. Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I got
yeah.
right there.
That's a knife I'd pay for
And-
in a video game for
And
sure.
you're
Would you pay $1,180?
I got it for $2.50.
and it's one of one.
No. Hell no. When I sold mine, there was like 12 or 15 other ones up.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yep. And I was watching how many were selling per day, and it was usually 1 to 3.
These people are out of their minds, dude.
That's insane.
Honestly.
That might have even been mine. Look, see? No longer available. Oh, wait, no, I didn't use
Yeah, look
bit
at this.
skins.
Look at this.
You can see,
Wow.
usually these websites tell you how many sold a day.
It's just none of it makes sense to
Look
me.
at the yeah.
Hey, you know what? If you did get it, I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy the knife.
So right after I opened this, I got another one. Not this exact one,
Yeah.
but another one that's worth about 500.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sell the whole inventory eventually and just buy off-road stuff, but cash out, come out on top, a hero. Sometimes it's
Hero might be a stretch.
like, in my own world. It's like
your own
buying
head.
No, you're a winner. You came out
Yeah,
a
I'm a
winner.
winner.
Came out on top.
a hero.
Yeah. You're on top until you tumble down the mountain.
Yeah. Till you spend a couple $100 on case of get shit.
Yeah.
That's true. How much did you spend?
Now that I sold the shit that I had, well, if I sold everything that I have, I'd definitely be positive. Right now, I'm probably a little negative.
He's in the red. He's in the red for sure.
One knife for $1,180.
But
Yeah, this is
still
like
in the negative?
this is
No,
like
no,
the
no.
look at I won $500 in this lottery ticket, but I bought 500 $2 tickets to win it.
But that's, I mean, that's lifetime, like video games. Period. Gambling.
This is people. Yeah, it's people who gamble as well, and they're like, I won $10,000, but I've been going to the casino since I was 18, and I'm 47.
Just-
fucking dude, what are we doing?
Just imagine
stop.
the online gambling. You
Oh,
know,
it's way bigger.
of just like the access people have, and just
Yeah.
oh, you know what? I'm going to throw a quick 100.
There was TLDR. There was like a huge skin scandal back in the day for Counter Strike.
I spent a lot of those, bud.
Yeah.
They were like,
I've had a few.
there was like a website where you could gamble, and
Yeah.
some guy like it was rigged essentially.
Yeah, it usually is.
The dude somehow
Usually
I
is,
can't remember
dude.
what happened. He like lost his ass and he ended up unaliving.
Oh,
It's a whole thing.
wow. Fucking Debbie Downer. over
Yeah.
there, dude. I didn't know where,
Wow.
you
It's
go.
crazy.
Didn't know where this was going.
It's
I
just
want
there
to
was
move
a
on from this.
there's
Yeah.
a lot involved.
Yeah.
Sometimes your skin's not valuable.
How about those Red Sox?
Sometimes you don't have any skin in the game.
MrSkin.com, is that where you go?
Mr. Skin.
Yeah, you remember
Mr.
that?
Hands.
Mr. Hands?
No, Mr.
Nah,
Skins
you
is the
don't-
website. It's a different. It's a different
Nah,
skin scandal.
Neither are applicable here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Hands is definitely a no-go for this show.
I'm going to be honest,
I'm glad
never even
somebody
heard
knew.
of it. Yeah, I don't know what Mr. Hands
I don't know what
is.
that one is. No.
You want to shut this channel down and never get it back?
That's where you want to go.
Oh boy.
I can show you some shit.
Anyway, did you have another callback? We covered
I had them both.
callbacks.
I double killed them.
Okay.
And then you brought up skins. That's my other callback. It's sold.
Skin in the game. Yeah.
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 John's callbacks are going to be what we're talking to him about.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
We'll get
That's all
there.
I got.
Yeah.
We'll get there for sure.
With that said, I have no more callbacks that I can think of. Countless people sent the Jeep stuff, the ads in the Jeep, which I think we kind of confirmed that that's not accurate, or it wasn't like it seemed to be. The Jeep. Actually, no, that's what it was.
I haven't
Jeep,
looked for an update.
Jeep took a step back and said, "Oh no, it was like by accident."
Yeah,
And
they said it was a glitch and it was something that uploaded shouldn't have gotten uploaded.
What, did they roll out something that wasn't really coming out, or?
no, it was supposedly every time you stopped, you'd get an ad on your Jeep.
Oh, you told me about that at work
Yeah.
the other day. Okay.
Yeah, and
What?
they backed it off.
Like on your
apparently.
screen?
Yeah, yeah. Like it was a. They said it was
over-the-air
a service reminder for your warranty or something like that.
Purchase peace of mind. If that happened to me, the level of rage, I don't think I have
it's-
words to explain.
It's honestly invasive. It's very invasive.
Invasive is a
It-
delicate word.
because like you're buying something, you should. That's it. The transaction over. If
Yeah.
you're a good company and you sell a good product, I will return to you. Do not force feed your bullshit, no matter what it is,
100%.
on me, because
That
that
reminds-
instantly will turn me away from being a customer.
That reminds me of, have you guys shot for insurance lately for a car?
I have actually.
Okay. 'cause-
I'm going to be switching to Haggerty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
solely
best.
for the R32.
I didn't look into that yet, but I was like, okay, my friend said he has like pretty good rates on AAA. Let me try AAA.
Yep.
And then I messaged a couple other people. Another friend of mine said, oh, check, I think it was Travelers or it doesn't matter. I did all the quotes or whatever. I'm like, oh, yeah, those are much cheaper than what I'm paying now for whatever reason. This is something I'll look into. For the next week, every 3 to 4 hours, I was
Yeah.
spam called
That's fucking crazy.
3 times in a row by each company. It's like their thing.
Yeah.
They would call, I would not answer. It would fade off my screen, immediately start ringing. And then I didn't answer that one. I get a text. Hey, this is Fuckface from AAA. Just trying to make sure you get your best quote. I literally replied to one of them and I said, after like the 4th day, I'm like, dude, stop fucking calling me and texting me. No
Yeah.
response.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's insane. I'm
Yeah,
not
it never
going to,
ends.
on principle now, I will never. I don't care if they were like, yeah, your insurance $5. I will never.
Right.
buy it.
That's the. I don't know if we are the minority, where it's like, yeah, I don't want to be treated like that.
No.
But a majority of other people want to be treated like that. Ooh, I'll take the best deal if you bother me fucking 27 hours a day.
What I consider it being, or like what I related it to it being, is like Zoomies. It's like walking into Zoomies back in the day when you needed a skateboard.
Oh, the fucking
Yo, my
worst.
name's Chad Bro Chill. You want this board? My friend Tawny Dingaling 360 flipped a stair set on that board. It's pretty fucking sick. Dude, I didn't ask you, and shut the fuck up. And yeah, I want this board, but not because you're a fucking friend.
Not because of your sales tactic.
Well, even with the Haggerty thing, like I was talking about renewing my policy because it's like comes up in March, and we were just chatting about it at work, and then Josh's phone just got a sponsor.
Matter of
ad
fact,
about
that's
Haggerty
why. Yeah.
Immediately after I said, yeah, I got to renew my
was-
Haggerty policy today.
Earlier that day, and then I'm at home and I get an Instagram ad, and I'm like, I'll look at a quote.
Yeah,
Look at a
why
quote.
not?
They didn't call me, but I want
The best
whatever.
thing with them too is you don't have to go through an insurance broker. They broker their own shit, so you can just call like Haggerty directly. You don't
Yep.
ever have to go through another person.
You
And
mean
it's the-
Fuckface from AAA? You won't have that guy?
Yeah, we won't have fuckface from AAA.
And it's the whatever the fuck it's called, the line item, precious value or whatever.
Well, yeah, they do agreed value,
Agreed,
and then
yeah.
they have an add-on called Precious Salvage.
That's
So
what
if
it
you
was.
get in an accident, you don't have to buy it back. You just pay like slightly more premium a year, and then you can just keep your
They'll
total
give it
car.
to you. Yeah.
Keep your
Here's your,
pilot.
here's your ball, brother.
Yeah.
Dude, you're paying them to not deal with your problem.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Exactly.
exactly.
So like,
Well,
is,
no, when I had an agreed value coverage with a different company previously on my 20th, and they were totally trying to recoup some of the money on the buyback because I wanted to buy it back.
Yeah.
and they wanted like $5,000 for it. I'm like, you want $5,000 for me to buy back a totaled car that is 100% for parts only? There's no way
Yeah.
I'm salvaging this. But yeah, so that's why I'll definitely do that Haggerty up.
Were they willing to haggle a little bit about the buyback?
They wouldn't even budge $200.
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
Yep, it was crazy. So I was like, cool, you guys can keep it.
So I assume that, let's say I go and get my BMW quoted and I say it's worth $10,000.
Yep.
Then they agree, okay, that's the fair market
That's what you
value on this modified. So
Yeah.
if I crashed it into a tree tomorrow, they'd be like, here's 10 grand.
Yep.
And then I keep it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wild. But then
Yeah.
your monthly payment, I assume, reflects that the car is worth 10 grand.
Yes
there's
and
a
no.
right because yours is I forgot I said
Mine's-
what mine was.
Mine's under $500 a year, and I only have a single car. I used to have 2 cars on it, and it was only like $700, and that was for $15,000 of coverage on one car and $20,000 of coverage on another car, and basically you have to have a policy on a daily driver vehicle,
Yeah.
or proof that you have a daily driver vehicle, and they're not really like that. You have to basically explain to them it's not an everyday use vehicle. They don't want
Okay,
to,
so
like,
you can do
commuting to
one.
work in it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can you do everyday vehicles for them?
I'm not sure. I've never tried.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so though.
Figure that out. Be my callback.
I don't think so because I at the time wanted to put all 3 of my vehicles on there and they would not take the 1 Series.
Yeah.
So just the other 2 went on to.
It was sick when I had the Volvo too, because I had multi-car discount on my primary policy and then multi-car discount on my Haggerty policy, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
But now I chucked Cassie's Beetle that is in pieces on our primary insurance as like whatever the bare minimum is, and it adds like $10 a month. It's awesome. Now
Yeah.
we get the multi-car discount.
Mine was $400.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for the year. So
It's cheap.
yeah, just better than paying existing.
I think I don't even know what the fuck mine is now. I pay like close to $200 a month for 3 vehicles.
Okay, what?
Like $200 for 3 vehicles. 2 change. A little more
Per month or?
per month. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, we're
Yeah,
talking
that's
per
pretty-
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Tim-
much cheaper.
yeah. Tim Connor's saying I put my Mini on it as a winter car, so I guess
Yeah.
maybe they will let you do it.
That's great.
I never inquired. I will say I worked with another. I'll just say it doesn't matter. I worked with American Collectors Insurance first. That's who I had the 20th on, and they inevitably did come to the agreed value, but they were much more difficult to work with because they're more like, boomer classic car company.
Yeah, no,
it's
I
like-
think I called them originally when I was getting the R32,
Yeah,
and they were like, "What's that?"
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I had to explain.
they're more
They're
like
like a Volkswagen?
if you don't have like a Corvette, they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, basically.
So are you wearing New Balances right now?
Yeah.
Are your jeans cut off? I had 2 other things I thought about. One, I know why your insurance is so high. You still live in that complex with that lady, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody within a fucking 50-mile
Yeah.
radius
They all have to pay a
is
premium for it.
just up.
That's
Just up
probably
there.
why.
My other callback, the real one. Check your mail. Make sure you check your mail always. What I mean by that is I received a parking ticket from the city of Boston
Okay.
for like $130.
Yep.
This saga has been going on for about a month and a half, 2 months. And I'm like, that's interesting.
TLDR, the car's never been there.
And I'm like, that's interesting. This is at
Yeah.
1:30 in the morning on a Tuesday for the R32. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this because it's not mine. Fortunately, at the bottom, there's a thing that says something along the lines of, if you think you've received this ticket incorrectly, please state your case, provide any, proof, that sort of shit. So I did that, and then it goes off into the ether for 6 to 8 weeks. I just received today the letter from them saying that I don't have to pay it. Of course, with no reasoning. It just we found that you don't have to pay it. But it's just one of those
They
stupid
want to admit
things.
you're right.
Right. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. There's like, maybe somebody fat fingered it as they were typing in the plate number or something along those lines. But it's one of those stupid things that I originally grabbed it and was like, what the I don't need this shit.
It's probably just a money grab that the city does, and then everyone who doesn't go through all the rigmarole that you did just pays it.
Yeah.
So
How
that-
much was it for?
100%.
it's like $130.
It's
Oh my god.
It was absurd.
funny that you say that though, because I got a text message today from
Those are fraudulent.
The Easy
That's
Pass one.
that's a
Jerry
scam.
MVFP at postprocesstechnologies.appleaccount.com.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, no, I
saying
know that
I owed
website.
money for a invoice on a toll, and I replied to it and said, "You could at least make an effort to make this look legitimate."
You fucking tool bag.
No response.
So
It is an iPhone though.
I posted a little thing about that scam sometime last week. I just reposted a story. I reposted that story and like 7 people immediately. I received that text today. I received that
I got
text
one today.
yesterday. And it's just all this shit's out there. So, my point, check your mail. Some shit's real. I think they legitimately made a mistake up there in the old city of Boston. And it's been corrected, thankfully, which is good. Did you just have movement
I coughed.
out of your bum?
Oh, do you smell a fart?
No, that was out of your butt.
Oh, I heard that.
That was a
wasn't-
cough.
I swear to God, I didn't fart. I'd be laughing. I can't contain
Farts are
myself.
funny.
Fair. It was just like I just heard the little like
Did you guys not hear the fart I did in the church?
that. Let's call back to that. That is almost as good as your fart in the well.
It's top tier. Do you want to hear it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, play it on the mic.
Make
if
sure
you
you.
can.
The echo, bro.
Oh, that's so good.
It's still echoing to this day.
Farts are so funny.
Never not funny.
It's so good. It's so good.
Well, hey.
Those are my callbacks. Yeah, that's all I had this week. I'm glad I remembered that. Oh, actually, no. I did like 2 or 3 weeks ago have show and tell. You know that thing you keep receiving in the mail that tells you they said they're getting more aggressive. This had an actual physical like attachment where it had like a PIN number and I was supposed to take that in and see if it connects to get my $10,000 or
Someone,
whatever the hell.
have you ever gotten these things, John?
If I have it, just yeet it right into the rubbish.
So
I've never
it's
looked
like
this far into it.
think of it like a lottery ticket attached to some like car dealership advert.
Oh,
and
it's like
you scratch it.
Yeah, you could win a TV or $50 off a Hyundai Tucson.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I've been getting them, so I bring them in each year.
Yeah.
And some listener was like, I went there and got my $50. And I was
Wow.
like, get the fuck out of here.
It's a lot
But
of effort,
it's like
dude.
it's like a timeshare presentation though. It's like you can probably get the $50 if you like sit
Yeah.
with a finance guy for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if my time's worth that.
No, it's definitely not.
You just talk down to him for the entire 3 hours. Like, I don't know if I can make this work, man.
Yeah. It's just too much to deal with.
Nick,
Big shots.
I would say 50% of the time I tune in mid-show, Shook is explaining that it wasn't him who farted.
It's always him.
It's 90.
100% of the time.
It's not always me. If Matt Wood is on, it was him.
It's
the one
100% of the time it's you.
the one that got me the other week, like 2 weeks ago, whatever. You were letting loose, and then you made a comment like, "Man, that wasn't me." And Chuck just says, "No, I was returning fire."
Yeah.
That was one of those jokes that caught up to me like 2 days later. I started fucking laughing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but those were bad.
Yeah, that was
And
Matt.
he got one good, but he got me back pretty good, too. That was pretty
Matt-
gnarly.
Matt's is like one of those memorable, like, that was a problem.
Oh, Matt's farts should be Geneva Convention. They are chemical warfare.
Just like right there's
I mean, we lit a fucking candle.
there are laws written specifically for things like that.
It was bad.
I finally finished Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
The
show.
series, great show.
yeah. The ending was. I was hoping for a happy ending. It didn't turn out. that
No,
good.
it just keeps getting bad. Situation gets worse.
How are you hoping for an empty? It's like a real life thing.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It doesn't.
I'm
They didn't
completely
change it for the show.
No. Fun fact. What was it? The Soviet Union released the report of how many people died in 1987. They
Lot.
said 31. They said 31. They say 31 to this day. They don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It's wild.
nuts.
Dude,
Yeah.
the bad guys.
You mean the Melty Boys?
Yeah. Without, but and when they were like, "Hey, by the way, when you took the helicopter ride." Oh shit! Fuck.
There's a lot of problems. A lot of problems there. Didn't go well for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
Anyway.
crazy. Yeah. If you haven't seen that, you should watch it. And
wild.
I mean,
The dogs?
fuck the dogs. The 3 dudes that went into the core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking Paulines on those guys.
Oh, gigantic!
I don't
You
even know
know,
how they walked down there with those balls.
when that
big.
show was created, 2 of them were still alive. Only one of them died.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Not
well,
even-
actually
not
all 3 of
even
them
to-
lived for an extended period of time. One of them passed away. The other 2 were still.
Yeah. And they didn't even get sick
Still
from
kicking.
anything.
It's crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy.
Maybe
And that's
radiation's not real.
and that's
Yep. That's true. Conspiracy theorists
and that
theorize.
is your nuclear minute. Let's move right along.
That's B for B. Shook.
B
hit
for
us.
B.
Scream it.
I'm gonna come.
I thought you don't have it.
I don't have it now.
No, John uses it.
Yeah.
I use it.
Every week.
It's
I'd like
on
to
there.
re-record it, but
Yeah, every week. No, the one John made is
I do like, yeah.
Bellissimo.
You want me to yell it?
No.
No,
No,
no.
okay.
You can just give us a little intro of what B for B is.
Well, I don't like doing this.
I know you don't. That's why I'm
I
making you do
hate
it.
it, actually, really.
Want me to help you?
Bucks for the boys. No, please do it. Actually, yeah, I can't.
What is Bucks for the Boys, you
Tap out.
ask? Anybody out there who's wondering? Well, it is our value for value system. It is how we keep this train rolling. Go to revivemotoring.com where you can sign up for the B for B. B for B stands for Bucks for the Boys. $2, $5, $10, $20. They're all donations that you can supply to each and every one of us, not us individually, but us as a whole. Once a month, you put your card in there. It automatically happens. We don't store your card information, believe me. It does that. It helps us pay the bills. And there's some merch up there, too.
Have you
We
done
can
this
do it that
before?
way.
That was good.
I
Once or
vaguely-
twice?
I've been here before.
Yeah.
Once or yeah.
I'm here
happened-
sporadically.
Happened previously. So with that system, like we said, we want to give something back to you. So every now and again, we will pick a winner. Matter of fact, once every month we pick a winner and we send you some stuff. Ed Dunn was our winner last week or the week before, whatever. His stuff went out and he should have received it, hopefully. So you will automatically be entered for that, and we'll send you some other stuff, whether it be some stickers, some postcards, things like that from time to time when we can. And we're working on some other stuff, whether it be a newsletter or just something that we can offer to the people who support us as well. We understand it's an economic sad time. I mean, eggs are fucking expensive.
Look at that shirt. It's a great shirt.
Devil's
Owner.
Pubes.
It's there.
It's a great artwork by Mr. Dan Brown, right?
Dan Brown.
I sent Dan Brown a wonderful mullet today.
Oh, yeah.
He was intrigued. He's like, look at the mud flap on that guy.
Mud flap.
It was one of the better names for a mullet I've heard in a long time.
Dan Brown's the best.
So, yeah, with that said, B for B, it helps us pay for stuff. We understand eggs are really, really, really expensive unless you have chickens. So we get it. If you can't help out monetarily, you can help out by sending us from some callbacks, some stuff, some insider news, if you will, and most importantly, sharing the show with anybody you think who may be interested, whether it be a whole plane full of people, a bus, your bowling league at court, I don't know, something, whatever you have going on.
At court?
I don't know, man. Whatever you got going on, share us with them, and hopefully we stick to them in some way.
I need me one of them knit beanies.
Should order yourself one.
I'm gonna have to.
In Cyprus,
Yeah,
actually,
Cyprus.
you know what? I haven't ordered
Oh, the
one.
gold is nice.
Raph has one. I'm quite jealous every time I see it. I'm like, oh man,
Petrol
that's a nice
blue.
beanie.
We don't even have it, guys.
No,
This is special. Also, what are those hats like that the boat captains have that have like a tint?
Oh, the rope hat.
the
rope
rope
hat?
hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rope hats are sick.
we got rope hats in the works.
Nice.
Yeah, I have like a laundry list of stuff I either have 3/4 designed, halfway designed, or fully designed that is going to go up there.
Full sex.
Sure. So I'm working on a handful of different things, and we're hoping to get more stuff up there very soon.
Rope hat is sick.
The beanies and all that stuff, a lot of this stuff will come down when it stops being cold.
yeah.
So that's kind of the overall plan.
So we need like summer stuff,
Exactly.
like little
Spring
blankies.
stuff.
Need
Spring
a little
stuff.
blankie for
Wine
a
shirt.
picnic.
Blankie, little picnic basket,
Coolers,
Little mug.
little
get
mugs.
yourself a mug for our
Just
coffee offerings that are going to come back
we need
at some point.
We need overlanding equipment.
No.
Yep.
You,
What- like
a
what-
guys need
thermos.
some Widow Watters for your trucks?
Widow Watters. RJ got me one for my
The little
birthday.
3D printed ones.
Yeah, dude. And I know you're a magnet fanatic, and I'm
Do you
like,
realize that all your vehicles are aluminum?
no.
Oh,
I
okay.
put it on my computer case, but as I was approaching the case, it was like
Thump.
strongest magnets on earth,
Rare earth.
rare earth,
Rare earth.
Very, very strong magnets.
But yeah, if you can't support us on the B4B and you do want to pick something out, whether it be a shirt or hat, something like that, you can go to our website. It's all there. That's my Ford hat, buddy. Don't touch that. That's going to
got a
come
rope.
back someday. It's
got
going
a
to come
rope.
back someday.
It should have never left.
Times are tough.
That pony should have never left this stable. Well, I told you we could have had started a Mustang-inspired drift team called
Gang bus.
Ponies Up, Syndrome Down.
We still can't.
We still
There's
can.
still time.
There's still time.
Still plenty
I'm
of time.
trademarking that bitch.
And with that said, each and every week we have a way to judge the last episode. Corey has those numbers. We put those things together.
Put them together. We crunch them. We do some sit-ups, some push-ups, some bench curls, and we come up with a number. And that number this week is 28 cents per listen. So we did all right.
That's pretty
We
strong.
did all right.
That's
All
pretty
right.
strong.
Yeah, pretty strong. So appreciate the support from everyone. So appreciate the dollars from everyone. Yeah, we look forward to talking to you next week.
No coincidence here. Tim Connors just placed an order.
Tim
Here
Connors.
we
Tim
go.
Connors also in the chat, placing the orders, doing it all.
Talk about the merch. People buy the merch.
Yep, that's it. With that said, I think we can cue.
If you'd like to leave a callback number, press 2.
Cranking it.
How's that for confusion?
I definitely like hit the top one and then slid, and I'm like,
I
oh
saw.
Do you have any
Panic ensued.
news?
no.
My news was just they released a new F1 livery for the cars 2025. I can't even say any words. And this is my favorite one. They should make more cars white.
Yeah,
it
that
looks
looks
awesome.
great. I don't know how I feel about the newer Visa logo though. I mean that I like the old one better, but otherwise it's fine.
It's unfortunate that you have to have like all this like nonsense,
Yeah.
Is it
the Visa, the Cash App.
Excuse
Hugo.
my ignorance, but is Hugo the driver or is that a brand?
No,
Hugo Boss.
Yeah. No, the drivers are Yuki Tsunoda, and I don't know how to pronounce that gentleman's last name.
Hajar.
The door's Hajar.
The so we can take a quick. We can take a quick look at the cars.
Green and black is hot.
Green and
I
black
like
is
this.
hot.
I like the state car.
Doesn't look much different than it did last year. Williams, it's blue. Doesn't look much different
That's-
than it did last year.
That some like is that team Italian based?
Williams, no.
Okay.
UK.
Oh, okay. Look, you know what? I do enjoy the Duracell battery up top.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
That's where they must have did that on a Monday,
You
and
know-
the rest of the car.
Oh god.
Holy
Will
smokes!
you cut it out? Will you fidget like a fucking 3-year-old?
I just wanted the bearing parts.
That voodoo doll is gonna fall on your head
Yeah.
if
It's
you keep
true.
it up.
If you
true.
take pretty much from the cockpit forward,
Mm-hmm.
for some reason they decided to use this font that really reminisces of John Player.
Yeah.
And with the stripe and that,
Okay,
it's cool.
okay.
Whatever, it's blue. The Racing Bulls team, 1, horrible name. 2, unbelievable looking car. White is definitely right for an F1 car. Haas.
That one looks good too.
I say that Haas has had a primarily white F1 car for a long time now. Doesn't look anywhere near as cool.
No,
as
not
the,
as good as that.
Racing
The
Bulls
gradient
car.
bulls on the
Yeah.
other one make a big difference.
Ooh.
That's one of my favorite. I think just because of the color scheme.
Alpine. I do miss what they were just pink, like bright pink
Yep.
before. Primarily pink. That was really cool. I'm a colors guy. This is the worst Aston Martin photo. I can't show you anything about it.
Do all the
Mercedes-
wheels look like Steelies? What's going on
Yeah.
here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
a design choice or is that a performance?
I think the
choice?
standardization. Yeah, I don't know. Mercedes black.
Because how
Right,
cool would
right.
it be if they all had VSKFs, you know?
Red Bull looks like Red Bull. Ferrari looks like Ferrari. McLaren looks like McLaren. It's pretty boring. I can be honest with you. It's pretty boring.
It's a red car.
Yeah, pretty boring. However, Lewis in red, pretty cool.
HP is a weird sponsor
That
to have
one-
on the red car.
Yeah.
Right, that really sticks out.
I think that's what they were aiming
HP.
for.
What about Peroni?
Fuck.
0%. Or Siva Logistics. If you start looking, the logos start to make less and less sense.
NGK, baby.
Yeah. Uni credit, who knows? But I
Hey,
just
whatever pays the tire bills. dude.
Exactly. I just wanted to show off the Racing Bulls car.
Wait,
that
can
one's
we
cool.
go up one? Why is
Williams?
one more? Why is Cool, like the cigarette company, not in on this? You know what I mean?
They don't like you can't do ciggies anymore.
Can't do
Actually,
ciggies?
I don't think that's
Imagine a Cool livery or Camel Crush.
this would be something that
Come on.
I don't know enough about, but I think there's still money filtered through subsidiaries or like not parent but child companies.
Oh, there has to be. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
they're funding cigarettes, terrorism, or I don't know, fracking. I'm sure there's
Fracking?
fucking something.
The
dude.
money is filtered there some way, some shape, somehow. But anyway, that's what I got. I wanted to talk about it mainly just that one car.
Steak. That's like the betting platform
Yeah.
that Champagne Poppy is involved with, right?
Yeah.
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 Wait,
Yeah, he's currently funding it.
who's
Yeah,
Champagne?
Drake.
Drake.
Oh,
Drake.
You know who Champagne Poppy is?
That's I had a lingering feeling.
That's the name of my Sequoia. That's actually what they call me.
Is that? I'm not a big Drake guy.
Well.
Not a Drake guy at all.
No? Okay.
No.
Hey, you know what? Maybe you're a Kendrick guy.
I fall on that Kendrick side for sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He
I don't
talks like what I would imagine a gnome in real life. But I can't even think of something
Well, yeah.
that he says to say it right now, but think of a gnome.
Other than him spitting facts on Drake, I've never heard him speak.
No, I don't know.
I don't know enough about any of
Is
it.
that sit down, be humble guy?
Yeah.
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 That's all you need to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first record's actually really good. I didn't care
sure
for
it is.
DNX.
The
She
what's the
didn't
fucking
care for
song? A Million
DMX.
Times,
No,
the-
GNX.
With the black
I think
crow
there's-
up on the wire.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't think of how it goes right now.
And they make the bird noise, yeah.
Yeah.
This is- it's interesting.
Yep.
So.
And that is your hip hop minute.
Yeah.
Let's talk
honestly,
to.
there was there was nothing for news this week. I just wanted to show that off one car.
I mean, they made a. Was that the biggest unveil?
I'm a fair weather F1 fan. It's the biggest one I've ever seen.
Okay, because it was like everybody's under a cloak.
It was the O2
and they were
Arena.
Just right. It was gigantic.
The O2 Arena, it's huge.
So yeah,
It's like Madison Square Garden.
right. It's crazy. Yeah, to just see liveries, like introduce drivers and show liveries.
That's it.
So,
Machine
yeah.
Gun Kelly played there.
Yeah, or whatever he does.
Jesus Christ, that is. He shouldn't do anything.
That's
He should go away.
existing is a stretch. Let's talk to John about Mark IIs.
Please.
Heyo.
So last time you were here, I don't even know if you had a car
I don't think I had the new car yet.
in your, but I don't even know if one was in your sights. In other words, like I think you were still looking.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. So the long story short there is I had the 20th I was talking about before and the Mark II that I built like in 2019 into 20.
Heavy COVID builds.
Yep, COVID build. And the car was great. I got a ton of seat time. Drove it to the top of Mount Washington on the Revival Rally shortly after it was built. I'm a big using it guy. Drove it to Roots twice. Drove it to Wolfscart numerous times. Drove it to Mayday numerous times. Great car, very reliable. But the shell was always rough. Knew it wasn't the forever car. And when the 20th was totaled, I accepted the reality that I wouldn't find a one-owner car with comparable mileage again that was as good as that car.
How many miles were on the 20th?
I bought it with 57, and it was totaled with 69.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yep. I have a really great picture of it with 69 420. But
Incredible.
yeah, I was leaving here one night, and a girl took a stop sign as a loose suggestion.
She was definitely listening to Drake.
Yeah, she's probably listening to Drake.
100%.
And yeah, she blew a stop sign, T-boned me. Luckily, I was fine. Could have been way worse. It was a Crown Vic. So
No way.
Yeah.
Driving a Crown Vic.
A direct hit T-bone in a Crown Vic. So pretty much it hit me wheel to wheel. Like fender to rear arch was just smoked on the car.
You actually got just yourself, your person, got super lucky where it hit because the brunt of that accident was taken by the door jamb and the sill
A-pillar,
and
yeah.
the A-pillar and the A-pillar where it comes down into the floor.
Exactly.
And that all bent and took up because, like, if that was just your door or is it your fucking legs?
Oh yeah, yep. It's I'm shocked the airbags didn't deploy because I mean it's an old car. It was a 20-year-old car, but it did have those cars did have curtain airbags and more sensors than some of the older stuff. But luckily I was fine. The car was drivable. Yada yada. Totaled. I'm very thankful I was properly insured. It's funny. I was just talking to Ethan. Shouts to Ethan, our Mark II pal up in New Hampshire, 19 with a 16 valve on Instagram. He's the best. About properly insuring cars. And it's like a 5-minute phone call. And some people think like, oh, I don't have a garage, so I can't. It's like there's so many, like, these companies are more accepting of the fact that younger people are into cool cars, and cars from the 90s and 2000s are classic cars now. So if you have a car that is worth money that you'd be worried about, just look into it. Pick up the phone. Maybe it won't work out for you. Maybe it will, but it's worth taking 5 minutes to make the phone
It's really
call
easy.
to get proper coverage. And so, yeah, I was on the hunt for a better shell after that. Everything on the car was good that I did, so it was just a matter of finding another shell. I would have bought a bare shell if I found the right one and just swapped everything over because everything on the other car was fine. Huge shouts to Scott and Tobias and Paul and Andy and Anthony. Everybody was looking for me constantly and sending me cars. And I was like pretty specific on what I knew I didn't want after having this car for 5 years. So the two-door car was originally a big bumper car on Mark IIs.
Yep.
Basically, there's big bumper and small bumper. It's exactly like what it sounds like. The early cars in the U.S. up to like 90, up to 89 were small bumper cars. I like the way the small bumpers look better. 90 to 92 are big bumper. The other thing is they have different wiring. They have what's called a CE2 fuse box versus CE1. CE2 is the same thing that carried into Mark IIIs. So if you're doing an engine swap, the CE2 fuse box is really great to have because the back of it actually has removable plug pigtails. So whereas a lot of other fuse boxes, you know, it might be pinned in the back and you need to pin tool to remove them one by one and you're splicing shit. With a CE2 fuse box and a CE2 engine harness, it's essentially plug and play, you know, other than a few wires that you got to do like immobilizer changes and things. So
It is crazy how it's kind of like a Legos.
it really is. It really, really is. Same thing. Subframe from Mark III just bolts right in it.
Yep.
But the problem with a big bumper car is underneath those big bumpers, a lot of moisture can be held, and there's secrets under there. So when I removed them from that car, I found a lot of rot under the arches. Same thing, a lot of rot. And the car already had a bad respray, and I have no desire to paint a car. I mean, you guys know how much I drive the thing and use it. I'll park it at a supermarket parking lot or a restaurant, and I'm not worried about it. But the shell on that one was just too bad for me to bother fixing. So I wanted a car that didn't have arch trim and had original small bumpers. After 6 or 8 months looking in the U.S., Paul suggested a few times, why don't you look out of the country? Why don't you look out of the country? And I like kind of brushed it off at first. I'm like, I don't want to spend the money on importing one. And I was looking at the prices of cars already in the U.S. and what I would have been happy with would have been, you know, a $10,000 to $15,000 car. And I pretty soon realized once Paul started sending me some links on these European Auto Trader-esque websites that I could get a car for, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 and have it shipped to my door for the price of a car that was in the U.S.
Yeah.
So that's what I ended up doing. And Netherlands was the country of choice because it was close to port and it's left-hand drive. I was looking in Netherlands, Belgium, Germany primarily. And the car I found in the Netherlands was perfect. No sunroof, original small bumper, no wheel arches. And I love the color. I didn't want red, black, or white, essentially was the ones I didn't want.
I think like the most common colors for them.
Yeah, you see a lot of them. So I like the blue. I love Calypso too. That was another one I was looking for. I just didn't find one that panned out.
But I'm mistaken, but the new car has like a blue interior too, right? Like a blue dash and everything.
It does, yeah. It has a similar blue fabric seats, but this one has a blue dash and blue A and B pillars, which I don't think any U.S. cars got the blue A, B pillars.
Yeah.
Scott showed me all like the quirky stuff. The European cars got that ours didn't. Like around the e-brake, there's like actual proper plastic trim around it that the U.S. cars never had. But But right now I'm like knee deep in the wiring swap because it has the old style wiring. So you can cut it and splice it, but long run, if you're a car you're going to keep, the wiring swap made more sense. Easier to diagnose problems.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's what I'm doing now. And now that we've gone this far, it's really not as overwhelming as I expected. So once again, thanks to all the friends. Chris has been over, 3 or 4 like full days digging into this with me. So he's very comfortable with all that stuff, as he did the same wiring swap on his car years ago too. So it's
When
been nice having extra
swapping
hands.
the wiring, like the plug ends, like for example, like the taillights,
Mhm.
are they the same?
So on a US Golf, they're bulb sockets. On a European Golf, it's a tray
Mhm.
with a plug harness. I had a Jetta harness spliced into my old car for European taillights, so it is the same in this case.
Nice.
Yep.
Maybe a little foreshadowing there.
Yeah, exactly. So it worked out pretty good. I got the old harness out, and this car had weird options too. It has central locking, which is like vacuum powered. So it's an electronic switch in the lock,
Yeah,
and then a vacuum pump in the trunk.
that's like the Mark III's.
Yep, same style.
Yeah.
Yep. So my concern with that was the car with the harness that I pulled the whole harness and fuse box out of didn't have it, so I had to add the wiring for that.
Yeah.
It's actually on an independent harness that's just a 1-pin connector. Like I could add it with just like a spade connector essentially.
Really?
So we left that in there, and Chris brought a power probe over, and we put 12 volts to it and turned the key, and it works. So we confirmed that it is an isolated circuit, basically. So that's good to go. Power mirrors was another weird option it had. We got the same thing, isolated circuit.
Looking on your Instagram, the power mirrors are like super cool. I mean, what year is the car again?
89.
89, so it's 36 years old or whatever. It's got power mirrors.
Yep, pretty weird. And
Pretty
then-
nifty.
So power mirrors and central locking, but it had factory no rear speakers and non-AC and crank windows. So it's like,
Are you keeping it non-AC?
yeah. Yeah, no, for the swap and stuff, I just like the function of non-AC better.
Yeah.
So I have manual steering, which I like. It's just less shit in the bay to fail.
Mhm.
So
Have you ever looked into any of those like electronic actual steering columns? So like a lot of times people are taking
like the hydraulic out and then doing an electronic
Prius?
one.
Yeah, like a Prius is like a big thing for like the Civic world. You take a like Prius kind of center section and you're really just adding power to it. And it just, as you turn it, it just kind of assists you. And I was looking into that for the Civic because like with the Polo, they're both 92s. They both weigh roughly the same. I mean, the Polo is like one finger, no power steering. It turns fine. With the Civic, your 2 hands just,
Really?
yeah, it's,
That's
I
funny.
mean-
I wonder why.
oh, the wheels are 3 inches wider on the Civic and
Yeah.
a lot stickier. I don't know. I really don't know.
I have 17 by 7.5s on the car, and other than like parking lots, like in parking lot speeds, it's a little tight, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's not bad at all.
But it's because again, I don't want the lines and the reservoirs and all this stuff like in the engine bay. So there's like other options, but I don't know. We'll see if it ever comes to a reason to really need it.
I wonder if anyone's done that because like Mark V's were the first like GTIs that had electronic power steering. I think.
Knowing Volkswagen is probably a very easy
Probably.
thing.
Yeah, to
you know,
add it.
to just add.
Yeah.
But
I
Yeah.
was gonna
This,
say the like the rabbits, like the Mark V Rabbit. That
Yeah.
because one of the
does that have electronic power steering as
that's,
well?
I don't know what year it changed, but it did change because integrated engineering makes the intake manifold, and they said, "Oh, this only works with whatever I forget what version, the electronic power steering car, because
Oh, okay.
if not, the hydraulic stuff kind of gets in the way. It's a little flimsy to deal with."
Yeah.
So at some point, I don't know what year that was where they made the change, but that's where it started. I'd assume across the whole line.
Tim Connors Prius also had a 12 volt AC system, non-belt drive that people used for AC
Yeah.
and hot rods. That's cool.
actually, and then the Tesla stuff now too. People adapt it into like hot rod style stuff, or
Yeah.
I see a lot of like shaved base stuff where people putting it all behind the dash.
Do you need another battery for that kind of shit? Like, at what point do you know you need another battery or a bigger alternator?
Probably another battery.
Yeah.
Because I assume that eventually your draw becomes too much for the charge, right?
You'd think.
Yeah.
So
probably another
either you
battery.
need like a deep cycle somewhere, maybe, or I don't know fucking what I'm talking
I
about.
don't know. If you're wiring or something like that, I'm sure you can hide a battery somewhere.
Yeah.
Just stash somewhere. We never talked about it, but like, why a Mark II?
So I think that they're the perfect in between, in a way that I think Mark IVs are a perfect in between too. There's always like generations that everybody prefers, but I had a Mark I for a really short time, just a cabrio beater, and it was fine. And when I was looking for something older, I was talking to Chris and Tobias especially a lot about it, and Tobias had just recently gotten the 16 valve car.
Yep.
So we were talking about the differences, and I was telling them that, you know, the swap ideas that I wanted to do and stuff. And those guys really explained to me the similarities with the Mark III and the subframes being able to bolt in. So it just really made the most sense for what I was after. And I think a lot of it comes down to use case too. You know, a car that's going to be like a weekend show car type of thing. I love Mark Is, but they're not as much of a pleasure to drive as a Mark II. Like the comfort is just slightly elevated on a Mark II. Not that it's a super comfortable modern car by any means, but just the functionality of the front suspension and everything is just better for a lot of use. And I mean, I basically daily that car in the summer. Like if I'm not, like I drive my work truck to work, and it's like, other than that, I'm in that car every day unless the weather's like really terrible. So I think it's a really great in between as far as old analog proper Volkswagen feeling, but not. Whereas like I had a Mark III, and I don't know, it felt clunky. I just never clicked with it. And then like I love Mark IVs. I didn't really care for Mark Vs at first because the electronic power steering. It's probably better now.
Yeah.
But when I first drove one of those, it just felt, I don't know. It didn't feel like you were connected to the road anymore.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes Mark Vs.
Yeah. That's true.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not the power steering. It's
Yeah.
just it's the car. You know, it's just the car.
Oh, Scott saying Mark V electric rack is not an easy fit in anything at all. I've tried.
Mark
Oh,
1 and
you
2
would know.
are the perfect amount of boxy, I think. 3, it's like they rounded it a little too much.
Yes.
And 4, it's rounded, but you were expecting it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, so you're like, oh.
Yeah, because they're crossing into 2000s.
They
Yeah,
really,
like
right. Yeah.
Future.
yeah,
really
you're like,
went
okay.
into it.
But 3 is like that weird in between.
It's as if a Mark II spent too much time in the water.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to
Just,
put it.
just like
The other
bulbous.
thing with 3s is they were the first generation that used recycled steel on the body panels.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah, now
And-
they're being recycled, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so.
and they rotted. So exactly, Tim Connors. Mark III is the best parts car. Yeah, Mark IIIs, Corrados. I just want all the parts. I want a shed full of Corrado parts. I'd never want a Corrado.
yeah.
So that kind of why the VR6 as well.
So that
Perfect.
was just a happenstance of how things worked out. I was never a VR6 guy. I'm a 1.8T guy through and through. Loyal to the grave.
He's
Mark
got
IV
never
kid.
lose tattooed on his knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love 1.8T.
I looked at his knuckles.
Of course.
He's
you
got a
do.
bunch of tattoos, so I'm like,
You
he
just
might.
Yeah,
You
am
just
I?
ate dinner with him. You didn't see it.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at his hands. I was looking at the too much honey that was on my chicken.
But yeah, no, I ended up with this car from a mutual friend of ours, Aaron, that I worked with at the Volkswagen dealer. It was like just a beater Mark II that he built, and he was getting out of it for short money, and it already had a VR swap. It already had European small bumpers, which was like a big thing I was after. Those are like we'll get into parts more in a bit,
Yeah.
I'm sure, but talk about like unobtainable parts. I don't even remember the last time I saw a set of small Euro bumpers for sale in general, and I'm in like European groups too.
Yeah.
It's so there. It's weird how
So you bought a whole car just to
I bought
Frankenstein it?
a car knowing that the car might be a complete basket case, but it had a VR in it, had a good drivetrain in it, it had good bumpers on it, and it had a very desirable front end. It was a 1 year only front end. It's called a Westie front. In the U.S., there was a factory in Pennsylvania that built Mark IIs, and the Westy front is square sealed beam, single square sealed beam, but with no side markers like a Mark I Rabbit had.
That was the gold car, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that car has an even further of a history because Aaron had it, did the VR swap. Before that, my friend Dennis
had
who
it.
also at one point was owner of the Polo.
Yep.
No way,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Same guy.
yeah. So that car had, I believe, just the standard 8 valve in it when Dennis had it, and then Dennis sent me a
Yeah, it
text
was a
one
1.8.
night,
That was the one that he put the G60 in.
and
right?
he's like, "Hey, I have this G60 motor. I'm gonna start the swap now. I'll pick you up later." I'm like,
yeah.
like what? And then I'm not kidding. Around 10:30 p.m. outside of my parents' house, I just hear, "Wing, wing,"
That's the worst sounding engine on earth.
and he had that motor in it until it inevitably blew up. I think when Aaron took over the car at some point.
Yep.
And then at one point, that car literally sat on top of 4 55-gallon drums in front of the butcher shop for about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, and then Aaron ended up with it. It had a couple different VRs in it.
So you literally bought a car for the swap and the bumpers.
Pretty much, and the front end, yeah. Like
All right.
that, for instance, like on today's market, that front end with like radiator support, because like with Mark IIs, something that's pretty neat about them is like how many cars in one single generation can you say there's one, and I'm just talking factory front ends, there's 1, 2, 3, there's like 4 or 5 factory front ends that could have came on that car, and that's like full different grill, headlight configuration, everything.
And that's all relative to location where they were assembled? As well,
Mostly year and trim level,
okay.
even just in
Kinda,
the U.S.
But not really the EK Civic. Because you have the Suzu front end, you have the EL front end, you have a facelift, a pre-facelift,
Yeah, so same idea.
Type R, but they're all like they fit, but they weren't like you go to Honda in Detroit and get a different front end. It's not like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
no.
Japan.
With these ones, like that front end came on all, 85 Golfs in the U.S. pretty
I like
much, or
that.
86, whatever it was.
So, all right,
Yep.
before you continue,
Yep.
you are a 1.8T guy,
Yes.
so then don't do the VR swap.
Well, I know.
you
I
already
just-
bought
yeah.
it, I know, but
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I'm not a BMW guy, and V8s are cool,
Yeah.
and this is for sale, so I bought it. I regret it.
Yeah.
So don't do what I did.
Well,
he's
done
already
it.
had the
I've had the
VR
VR
on the
for.
other
I've had the
car.
VR on the
Oh,
other
you're
car
fucked.
for 5 years.
Okay, didn't
and
know
now
that.
I
Alright.
and now I love it for all the different reasons. But
Okay.
and the thing with that wiring swap I was talking about, once you do that CE2 wiring and everything, popping a 180 in it with
Yeah,
the
it's
subframes and stuff I
very
have
easy.
already is like a nothing.
I thought
Yeah.
this
And
was
that's
for
the difference between a Mark One.
Okay.
On a Mark One, you don't have the ability to just pop a Mark III subframe in it easily, so the swaps become all that much more involved.
I thought this was for the new car.
No, yeah, this is the same configuration I had on the old.
Yeah,
car.
this was how the original old car setup came to be, and then he's at the part of reconstructing new shell.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that picture Corey had up before I had both of them, but yeah, I had a Mark III beater, and I traded that to a dude with my original blue car in Rockville Center, Connecticut, and he was daily driving it, and it needed like spark plugs and stuff, and it was like not a big deal, but he was like, I just need a newer, reliable 4-door car. He had kids, so I traded him a Jetta for the Golf, pushed it on Chris's trailer, barely looked at it, and brought it home, and the car's, if I didn't take it apart, I would have driven it another couple of years, no problem. But it was rougher than I didn't want to invest the money in the shell. So
I think one of your big
things
things too was you wanted to run just the painted.
the arch trim.
You didn't want arch trim on there, and the second you noticed those were
Yeah, it was trash underneath.
deleted.
Yeah.
It's 1A, 1B.
Yep. Yeah, the under the arches on the two-door car are just gone. Totally gone.
Are you starting to creep up above the arches yet?
Not quite yet, but it's close.
Yeah.
There's not much surface for the windshield urethane that's holding those things on to work. Yeah.
It's holding on for dear life.
I do
Oh,
like
yeah.
the 4-door, but I have to say I'm partial to the 2-door.
Yeah, I always liked 4 doors. I just feel like you mostly see 2 doors, and like I said, a lot of this comes out use case for me. I get in this thing. It's not just about going to car shows. My wife and I get in the car and we chuck a couple dogs in it, and we'll go.
Oh,
We'll
easier.
go to the beach. We'll go to the brewery. Like we go out in that car all the time.
Way easier with 4 doors.
Yep. So with 4 doors, it makes all that stuff much easier. Yep.
So it sits right now, new car or new shell sits in the middle of your garage on 4 jack stands.
Yep.
Have you been acquiring parts? And what are some of those parts?
Yeah, so Chris had a long block from when you shot his car for PVW. When you shot Chris's red car, the Go GTI car, in like, I don't know, 2013, or was it earlier than that? Maybe like 2010?
Might have been, yeah. Might have been, holy shit. Might have been 11.
Yeah, 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah, something.
Chris put a VR in his car and took the 1.8T out for a year or two, and he got that long block from our mutual friend Glenn, and did cams and new chains and all the new seals and on it and everything. And he literally just like, Chris is the opposite of me. He does not use his car ever. So he built this motor, put it in the car, got it in PVW, took the motor back out, stuck it on a pallet, and it's been sitting there for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So he was kind enough to let me obtain that, and I'm swapping all the accessories from the other one over to that one, and it should be a much stronger motor. The valve seals on mine were going, like my car, I mean, you drove behind that car a few times. It's pretty smoky.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it was time to do. I either had to tear that thing open or get something else. So we're going to stick it on a stand, and that'll be a backup motor for whoever needs it at this point. And then
It's good to have backups.
yeah, definitely. And you can't
multiples.
you can't get VRs anymore either. You know,
It might be
They're-
fun for you to take apart too.
exactly. I've never done that, so it'll be a fun. Once the car's done, it'll be fun to
Fuck it up.
really fuck that up nicely and make it look cool on a stand.
Dude, I have a 302 that,
We know, Shook. Jesus Christ.
no, like a spare to fucking do that.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never taken apart like a bottom end, like the rod's out.
Me, I've never done anything like aside from like doing a valve cover gasket. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to look in here. I'm serious. Like I'm like a nuts and bolts guy, and like Chris always jokes about it. He's like, I help so many of my friends with car stuff, and it's like I get so annoyed sometimes because I give them these simple goals, and then the next time I come over and nothing's done, he's like, if I explain to you what to do between like me and Tobias, like you learn how to do it and you just figure it out. And I'm like, yeah, I can figure stuff out, but I'm more like afraid to dig into stuff totally blind or alone. I'm also impatient, so I will like just rush shit, and that will fuck me up sometimes.
I do the
So,
same thing.
I felt like
Yeah.
that. I was talking to him when I first got the Polo. Like the temp gauge just like wasn't. This is Chris I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Just wasn't reading right, and like it's in Celsius, but even when I was converting it to Fahrenheit, like it just wasn't. Something was off, and like even my digital was saying everything was kosher, but it
Yep.
wasn't accurate with the gauge. And I was like, I just can't. And like I didn't know like what to ask the internet
yeah,
to get the answer.
yeah. I think I was like, let me ask Chris. He'll probably know.
And when he responded, but it was like, yeah, obviously. And I'm like, well, what do you mean, obviously?
Yeah.
Where would I ever find this? Or how would I even ask this?
Yeah, why would I know this?
Yeah.
Exactly. He worked at a dealership from when he was like 13.
But granted, once he
You know.
told me and I looked it up, I was like, oh, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
It makes total sense now. But it was just like, I'm like typing the words into Google. Like, what? I don't know where to find this.
Yeah, and usually it does make sense once you figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Josh, parts-wise, like one thing that was great with this is I don't really need to buy that much stuff because I already bought it all for the other car.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to have anything left to sell from the old car really because I took every single thing off of it. It's literally just a shell in my driveway right now.
Drag it out on a flatbed.
Yeah, it's on a dolly. It's on a moving dolly with
Perfect.
ratchet straps around it. But there's a lot of weird stuff that is hard to find. So with the swap, there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. You can do all OEM stuff on a Mark II, which is great. You can do Mark III subframe, like a Corrado front cross member works. If you want a hydraulic clutch with VR6 on a Mark III, it would be a hydraulic clutch.
Yep.
So to do that, you can use a Passat pedal cluster and brake booster bracket, and you can add a hydraulic clutch, whereas a Mark II would normally be cable clutch. The other thing there is Eurovans had a VR6 with a cable clutch, a self-adjusting cable clutch. That's what came out of Aaron's car. I drove it once like that. It was miserable. And Chris is just a psycho, and he has like an attic full of stuff.
Yeah.
So he had all the Passat stuff. So I acquired that from him, and he wanted the Eurovan thing just to have it because like someday in 20 years, someone's going to be like, I really need a Eurovan cable clutch bracket, and now he'll have
I
it.
have one.
Exactly. So he loves that shit. So, but yeah, and I think that's the most rewarding way to do it with the OEM stuff. Same thing with the radiator. You can use like all Corrado shit.
Yep.
For the,
I think. That's why I think Corrados are the best parts car.
yes. Yep. You want all the stuff from the Corrado. You need all that crap. You could do the same thing with the hydraulic clutch stuff. You can use all Corrado stuff. Corrado VR6 air boxes, another thing I have. Only a Corrado one will fit. A Mark III one's too wide.
Yeah.
That's
Its
a
Corrado
really,
one's like really long and narrow,
it's
right?
long and narrow. Yep.
Such a weird vehicle, the Corrado overall, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Of just the fact that it was even produced and all that sort of stuff, just everything that goes.
People associate it to a Mark III, but it's really closer to a Mark II.
Yeah.
It's like a Mark II. A Corrado is basically a Mark II with Mark III technology.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the airbox.
Yeah,
there.
that airbox, it's tidy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Very snug to the fender, plenty of room, and it's not too crowding. You know, it
No,
doesn't
I like all the covers and everything.
If it's too big too, you're like, what are they hiding under there? What's going
to
on?
someone
under
who
there?
doesn't know the car, I want it to look like, oh, this could have came like this. I know you painted the valve
I didn't
cover
know you
blue,
even
whatever.
had the washer bottle in there. Still.
Everything. Yep. Everything's where it should
I don't
be.
know how it comes. That looks how it comes.
Yeah, that's exactly how we wanted it to look, and it worked out great.
I
Yeah.
love that the Corrado is like the boy who lives has come to die. kind of deal.
But there's also all these companies make swap kits now. Like for instance, on a Volkswagen, the axle length, the driver's side's short, the passenger side's long, and in this case, you can see on a VR6 and a Mark II, the engine is very close to the passenger side frame rail.
Yeah.
So one thing that is just kind of the rite of passage with this, you have two options. You can get a smaller underdrive pulley, or you can just sledgehammer the frame rail a little bit.
Love the hammer.
That's where
Just,
I'm going.
just enough to get the wrench up there. So if you ever need to change your drive belt, you can do it without jacking the motor up out of the car.
I love how it's just the sign of, oh yeah, this car was swapped before. Look at the frame.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
fucking caved
Somebody
in.
hammering the frame rail. Yep. But
As Brett would say, this car's got some hair on it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But now there's like swap kits that center the motor and stuff. But my problem with that is it's like, okay, I get the swap kit. Now my motor is 1 inch to the right.
Yeah.
No one is ever that. I don't have a shaved engine bay. I don't give a shit.
No one's
I'm
the
not
wiser.
trying to cram a supercharger in there. I don't need that extra inch.
With the exception of Toby
Speak
and
for
Scott.
yourself.
Yeah, well, and they would see it and say, that's fucking stupid. You should have just used the OEM stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is when these companies in 10 years go out of business and I need some weird length axle, like now I'm going to have to go to a machine shop and I can't just buy an axle.
Yeah.
I can go to fucking Napa and buy anything for this car.
Yeah.
Which is a nice feeling because like I get in it and I'll drive it 6 or 7 hours. And if I need some weird part, everything is a stock part.
Do you guys have a site that's like Summit?
Yeah, FCP.
Yeah. It's literally FCP.
Oh, so speaking of FCP, I got a pile of trash to mail actually right now. So I had a credit from my ignition coil failed on this last year before Roots.
Yep.
So I bought another one, shipped the blown up one back, had like an $85 credit in there or whatever, and then I used that to buy spark plugs and valve cover gasket and tie rod ends. And I got the pile of the old shit ones in the garage right now. And as soon as my box shows up, I'm going to throw all that trash back in the box and mail it back to him.
Back, get another credit.
Yep.
It's free money, boy math.
I'm going to send them a grocery bag full of old oil pretty soon.
Grocery bag.
Yeah. You just put in a grocery bag, tie it off. They don't
Yeah.
mind.
That is a business model that to this day baffles me.
It baffles
how
them,
they
too.
fucking make money.
Well, it works because not that many people are as motivated as I am
Yeah, dude,
to mail
I
their
just-
trash back
Yeah,
to them.
the amount of lazy people out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
like my-
very motivated to mail my trash back to them.
My smoked axle, like,
Yeah.
I threw it away.
You could've just mailed them
Yeah,
back to them.
I can't be asked.
I can't. That's not true. I didn't. Let me rephrase that. I kept a few good parts
Yeah.
and then threw the rest of it away when I could have just sent it all back, got the credit. I have a laundry list of things I need.
I'm going into this to the point where I have a list of everything I need. Instead of buying it all at once, I bought the stuff that I had in the trash pile already to mail back
To get a
so
credit.
then I could get the credit and then buy more trash to mail back. Yeah, it's like I'm doing this so I don't have to actually spend any real
You're going
money.
for a net zero outcome.
Yeah, exactly. Zero carbon footprint.
What are some of the like parts you've been selling off of it? I've seen kind of a few of them post on Instagram, Facebook, different groups, whatever. Is it all just like odds and ends? Is it any kind of rare stuff? Is it things people pop up that they're looking for?
Yeah, so for the most part, like I said, I had most everything. There was like one thing. This is actually a cool story. On U.S. cars, they call them the banana lights, like the fender side markers.
Yep.
And the Euro cars have like what a Mark IV had on the little fender repeater blinker. And I've always like kind of nerded out with like lighting stuff on the old car. I built a set of Morimoto by Xenon retrofits for those headlights. Once again, because I use the car a lot, I wanted modern car headlight output.
You want to be able to see.
Yeah, and I can see better in that than Cassie and I's normal daily vehicles. It's unbelievable how good it is. But yeah, I have that. I have the fifth clear tails, and they have MHW makes clear repeaters that kind of match all that clear stuff I have. So I made a post. I found a set in like Lithuania. I just made a post. Hey, does anyone in the U.S. have these?
Why is it always Lithuania?
It's always Lithuania.
Every fucking front lip I want, Lithuania.
Yeah, that's where they all are. The guys in Lithuania got all the good stuff.
Motherfuckers, dude.
But shouts to the Mark II community because a guy that I know from Mark II's, like within an hour, was like, oh, I got a set of these. I ended up like shaving my fenders. I'm not using them anymore, and they're just sitting on a shelf.
Yeah.
So I had them literally, like, that was like a Wednesday night. They were like at my house on Friday.
That's crazy.
That's impressive.
Yep. It's the community of it is so good. Yep.
It was like a cassette box I saw you posted.
Oh, yeah.
Some
So
other,
that
like bumper stuff.
Yeah, so I have Euro bumpers from the old car, Euro bumpers from the new car. I'm keeping the best set. I got new chrome strips, like a company makes Repop chrome strips for the bumpers, so I redid that, so that's all nice and new. And I'm going to sell the extra set, hopefully. Got a lot of strokes on those. A lot of people want to talk about the bumpers. Not a lot of people want to buy the bumpers. Yeah. And if you're listening, you're all fucking strokes. But
A lot of talking, not a lot of buying.
exactly.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but I got two sets of wheels from the old car, so I'm selling the 13s in the new car because they won't fit over the brakes anyway. The cassette tape holder, some people love those things. I get it. If I kept a cassette player in the car, I would keep it, but I'm not. Once again, back to the same thing. Functionality, I ended up getting that Apple CarPlay radio that Jordan told us about.
Yeah.
And I should have stock in that company. I've must have sold 10 of those things since then.
Yeah. The killer.
It's amazing.
It's Singleton, right?
Yep.
Singleton.
True Singleton wireless Apple CarPlay.
But like, does it do maps and shit too? Just
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
can you see it?
Yes. I'll show
I
you
gotta
some
see
pictures.
pictures. Okay.
Yeah,
It's-
it's amazing.
I see
'cause-
more and more people popping up with them.
Yeah,
I guess
And
the
I'm like,
S2000
that's
guys have been
impressive.
using them for years.
because I want something for my car that's not a sound bar.
think it's this one.
Yeah, it's the Power Acoustic CP71.
Oh, so it's quite large still.
Yeah, I mean it's the full screen.
It's full Singleton, but it fits like my Mark II's. It fits in a Mark II.
That's literally in an E36, no?
Yeah, here's the difference. So go back to that side picture, Corey. So normally where you would have
More?
a clip on, like the full side video. Was there one?
Maybe we'll see.
The bottom left.
There we go. There we
So
are.
where you would normally have a clip-on trim ring, that's just slightly more screen. So if your radio normally is recessed really far into the hole, this could be problematic for you. On
Yeah.
a Mark II, it fit perfect. I'll
It
show
won't
you a
fit in the
picture
Civic.
afterwards. It won't fit in the Civic.
No, because the radio sits behind the fascia plate,
Oh,
so it wouldn't.
wouldn't fit right.
You
Yeah.
have to keep it out a little bit.
It'd
or
have
no?
to sit like either really forward, like outside the fascia plate, but also the fascia plate has like the rounded edges. So like we just
It would
wouldn't
like cut off the sides.
it
of
like
it,
wouldn't
yeah.
work. Yeah.
But yeah, so I got that thing and it's awesome. But I'm not going to keep a cassette tape holder in the car because it's quirky and cool.
Yeah.
Scott and Tobias will love this. I don't need tchotchkes just to have tchotchkes.
Yeah, you got to check it off the list.
Yeah. I'm all for tchotchkes if they are useful to me using the car. A cassette tape holder for a car with no cassette tape player is not useful.
What are some useful totchkes?
Oh,
that-
okay. There you go. Civic is ISO mount. VW is DIN mount.
I don't. It literally means nothing.
Yeah.
I fucking no clue what that means. Love Scott. Don't know what it means.
Yep.
I'm sure he'll inform us in a moment. But what are some useful tchotchkes you may be keeping or adding, or what would you deem a useful tchotchke?
I mean, it depends.
I'm a big button guy.
Yeah.
Love the weird buttons.
Yeah, weird buttons are cool. Like the new car came with the European rear fog. That's an additional switch. I'm gonna keep that, especially. Actually, shouts to Nick K. I know. I saw him posting like adding using the position of like the European fog lights as extra brake lights because, this is an older car. It doesn't have a third brake light. People are idiots.
Yeah.
You want it to be bright. Scott actually sent me his whole menu of bulbs. So I have the Scott Norton spec bulb selection.
What
in the
about
back.
wipers? What kind of wipers you put on?
Oh, I actually had the bad ones, and Scott swapped them out.
Slapped you on the wrist?
He swapped them with proper wipers from FCP at Mayday.
I won't swap them until
And publicly
he gives me a
shamed
set.
me. He publicly shamed me, and I'm here for it because I agree. Now looking back, I feel shameful that I did that.
You like things that work though.
Yeah, but these work. They do work still.
They work okay.
Are you guys, when he talks about arrow wipers, are those just the ones that look like quarter pipes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hates those. He wants the old school that look
Yeah,
like
with
an
like the
erector
spring.
set.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares, man?
Nah, it definitely looks better. It definitely looks better.
On an old car, sure, put the old wiper on it.
That's a cool bit. Tim's talking about the DigiFizz mini gauges. So
Yeah.
there's the old aftermarket company that made the little dummy switch gauges, and now DigiFizz Mini makes new ones, and they also make like a USB port that fits in a dummy switch, which is really cool. That's on my list to grab.
You boys ready for this real quick?
Yeah.
While both ISO mount and DIN mount refer to standardized mounting systems, the key difference is that ISO generally refers to a broader standard set by the International Organization for Standardization, while DIN mount specifically refers to a mounting system based on DIN rails.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. DIN, I hear more. So the international standard is not that standard.
Yeah, I've never heard of ISO.
Yeah.
I hear single din and double din.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. And people put double dins in Civics.
Oh boy, it goes even further. A DIN mount is a specific type of ISO mount within the context of electrical equipment mounting.
Oh.
So
These things are pretty cool.
they're sweet, right? The other thing I was thinking is this company makes air ride gauges, or there's a company that does these that makes air ride gauges, and I have this idea that I want to do eventually. I'll get to it eventually.
Oh, maybe it is them.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it is them.
But
What a cool fucking
It's
company.
a sweet little, yeah.
I want to get the air ride gauges they make, and then I want to get a GLI power window switch plate and run the four corners on factory GLI up and down window switches.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's like the long-term plan.
These honestly would fit an E36 interior.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah. Seems like these might be it.
Yeah, they might. Yep.
The oil pressure is kind of cool thing to have.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
there's
sweet.
a lot of cool stuff. I
And
looked
coolant
at them
temp.
Yep.
because they
that's-
actually make the Polo stuff as well.
And I'm losing gauges now because I'm keeping the original clocks from the car, the kilometer instead of mile per hour clocks, and it doesn't have a tack. It just has a physical analog clock.
And I get that they do a lot, but fucking, they're kind of expensive. Think about it. I mean, if you do like everything that you want to do, it's gonna be like
Yeah,
$5,000.
it's a small operation though. I
$500.
mean, the development to like make all
Absolutely,
this
yeah.
crap, it's
Absolutely.
probably a pain in the ass.
I've seen them in person.
Oh, wait,
Like, the
BMW.
fit and finish is really nice.
Look at it really quick.
Yeah, let's see what they got.
What do you got? E30, of course. No images. Just go fuck myself.
There we go. We got an oil pressure, volt, oil temp, boost. There you go.
There
That's
you
all
go,
you
Chuck.
need. That's all you need. But yeah, this stuff's really cool.
Yeah, it's neat stuff.
What are some of the other parts that are becoming more and more a hassle?
So the swap parts are, you see, like before people had, a pile of subframes and cross members and the hydraulic clutch stuff, just like Chris had a pile of them behind a shed, 5-10 years ago. Now, like nobody has anything. So I think that's why a lot of people are going towards the direction of these swap kits. And it's great that companies are making them.
I guess from a standpoint of like you can just go on your computer, you click beep boop boop,
Yeah.
and a box shows up in your doorstep, and you needed to go like doing a lot of talking about subframes, not a lot of buying a subframes.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it.
And it's the same thing with the hydro clutch stuff. It's cool that you can just click and buy it instead of like, I can just buy this like pedal adapter thing instead of like trying to find a 25-year-old brake booster bracket and a pedal cluster. And it's that stuff's becoming a pain in the ass to find. Some of the taillights, I mean, obviously it's the same with every generation. This is a Mark II specific. I mean, Josh and I have Mark IVs at the same time in, you know, the early 2000s. And those colored taillights were like, they were like blasphemy. Nobody used those.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wanted like
You had factory red smoke red, or you had like the Euro red smoke red,
Yeah.
or you had maybe black.
you were gonna put like blue taillights on your car. It'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, nobody wanted
wrong
that
with
shit.
you?
And same thing with the clears. Full clear,
Yep.
nobody
Yep.
wanted them. And now they're all the rage, and the company stopped making them 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, the one that's the most expensive for Mark IIs and for Mark IVs right now is all red. And it's the like Inpro does the Mark IV all reds.
Yep.
And this company Fift, it's like FIFFT does the
Plead the fifth.
the Mark II ones. And oh yeah, All right, here we go, Scott. Mark II non-ABS hydro brake booster bracket is super rare now. Used to be 40 from the dealer. Yeah, so there's a lot of weird stuff like that now. And I was talking about the bumpers before, like Euro bumpers used to pop up. You know, like every few weeks you'd see a set. I don't even remember the last time I saw a set of Euro bumpers for sale. And the Westy fronts too. A lot of people hate them. Dan Devings always calls it the Dodge Omni front end. So like every time I post a picture of the car, I just does hashtag Omni.
That's fair.
But yeah, like same thing with those. Like all the Euro guys want that because it was a US only option, and
Yep.
they're just it was 1 year only, and they're becoming more and more and more expensive and crazy. Rally parts, rally front ends, and
God,
Scott
yeah,
has
I
all those, doesn't he?
Dan's not wrong.
I imagine, yeah, rally stuff must just be through the roof.
That same thing with the Denji Civic headlights for his generation. That happened. Everybody was like, "Oh, those are lame," so they stopped making them. And then somewhere late 2000s, they were like, "Anybody got those headlights?"
Yeah,
They're making them again.
because
Are
it
they really?
makes
No.
like it reminds people of that retro feel.
yeah.
Just like it's like Genkos, they're coming back.
Period correct.
Sure.
Period
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Period correct.
yeah.
That's the buzzword.
Yeah.
Period correct. In vogue.
Yep. Exactly.
In
These are
vogue.
straight up racer headlights.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, that's like
yeah.
people talking about like the door gutters and stuff. Heritage is like repopping a bunch of shit now. The drip rails, the blue interior pieces they were talking about. So there's like 10 different blues. Like Scott was telling me, the carpet that's on my rear parcel shelf is like some weird rare carpet that wasn't on US cars, except it just looks shittier than my like basic bitch one from my US car. So I'm gonna use the US car ones because in my case I just don't care.
Yeah.
And I like the way this one looks better. There was another really weird part on the car that he was telling me that was pretty interesting. The car has the chrome window surrounds, which I always liked, and you don't see a ton of cars with it. And on this particular car, it has the ones that go around the mirror section. And if you look at other cars that have it, it ends where the mirror plate starts. Yeah, so like that
Oh, it
right,
goes
right around the
around the
rear
mirror
view mirror.
plate?
Yeah, usually it ends at the mirror plate. And apparently, like one of the only cars that comes on is a Golf Country Chrome Edition. So Scott was saying like Golf Country Chrome Edition guys would pay like all the money for those because they're mint and intact and has all the little clippies and everything.
Yeah.
Just that quick pan, that car looks really clean.
It's super clean. There's a couple
Like
little,
the bumper's shiny.
there's a couple little shitty things on it, but it's, you know, for the age and everything and what I paid, I'm really pumped on it.
It looks really, really good.
Dent Patrol Rob's a couple little spots he's gonna fix. All in all, it's like
Dude, the chrome on the bumper looks killer. That's the stuff that you put on
Yeah,
already? Yeah,
yeah.
it looks good.
yeah. So, but yeah, as far as like the money stuff, it's nuts. The swap parts are getting crazy. The front end parts are getting crazy. Westy and Rally are the two that are like the worst right now, and taillights, and a lot of the weird body kits. And we're talking about stuff that was ugly. It's like body kits that people wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole 10 years ago.
Huge now.
Everybody wants them. Yep, everybody wants them.
Crazy.
How is there not a
Like the Orikari grill, like the grill that has like the shutters that open and stuff.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, basically it was like on the last page of Tuning Zuberhor.
Yeah. Yeah, no, once again, Scott pointing that out. Big shouts to Paul for pushing me to do out of the country, because I was like not accepting of that fact for
well,
a
it's
while.
sketchy.
It's
It
sketchy.
feels sketchy.
Bit of a risk.
It
right?
is a risk.
There's
There's a risk.
risk associated with it.
You have to line up a bunch of ducks.
A whole ship could sink.
The other,
True.
yeah, the other. Well,
That's true.
There's actually a funny story
That's-
about that too.
yeah.
Another thing that's weird is like, you know, people that bought Mark IIs 5 or 10 years ago. It's like, you know, you pay the GTI money for a 16 valve, you know, red stripe GTI car. It's like I'm buying like a base stripper spec automatic car, like the shit spec that nobody wants, and paying all the money for it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's just how it is now.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's
Yeah, we're paying like Type R GTI money for base.
Yeah, but with
Back
that
then.
said, it's like the car was the right car. I've taken apart like 3 or 4 Mark IIs now. I have never taken one apart where I like almost couldn't get the center console to budge because it's never been out of the car.
That's sick.
I took it out and there's a build sheet taped behind it.
I saw that.
There's a couple stickers with like handwriting on them, like on the carpet that I
Yeah.
like peeled up, and it's like, this has been here since the car was built.
That's so
Since
cool.
Klaus put it there.
Yeah, exactly.
Klaus.
So there's,
I put the sticker here.
there's definitely neat shit like that. And
Hopefully,
like,
very cute American man finds many years later. Yes.
Was this car from a dealer or like a private party?
it was a private sale.
Yeah.
It was, what was he saying? It's not 2003 anymore. Tobias yells, pay up. It's actually from a dealership though, Ottinger, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That was the name of the dealership that it came from. So like
Yeah.
the floor mats have that on it, and the
That's cool.
and the plate frames and stuff. But it was a private seller, and he was part of a car club. There's a Netherlands Dutch car club sticker on the back window that I'm going to leave on it. And
It's also got crazy etching as well.
yeah, so that was a thing in the U.S. in the 80s as a security thing. People would etch their VIN number on their glass. So if like a car was stolen and parted out, you would have a VIN number stamped. So over there, the plate stays with the car for the life of the car when you sell it.
Yeah.
So this car has the plate numbers etched into all the glass, which is pretty neat.
They try to upcharge the fuck out of you at a dealer for that now.
Oh, yeah.
They sneak it in.
Oh, they try to just do it? Yeah.
Yeah, they did it to my mom's.
Yeah.
$600. What the fuck is this?
Yep.
$600.
For etched glass. So I didn't want that. Well, you have it. Well, I'm not paying
You
for
got
it.
it now.
And then you get into a big argument.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got etched glass. Unfortunately, one window is replaced. I have all original glass except for the passenger front. And when we were taking the wiring out of the car also had ABS, which is like the worst thing ever on a Mark II. It's like the most like primitive shit ABS system.
They were still learning.
Yeah, it has this like giant module that's like the size of this table mounted in the trunk. There's no brake booster. The brake booster is incorporated into this giant ABS pump shit up at the front. And there's so much wiring. The wiring harness for just the ABS control module was bigger than the entire CE1 harness from the fuse box to the taillights for that one module.
How much does that thing weigh? I mean, the weighing of that.
Just
wiring-
that system. I haven't taken the thing out of the front yet. Chris was like, when you take that thing off the firewall, it's going to be like a bowling ball. He's like, that's probably heavier than the 8 valve. And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt
What
it.
do you have to put a booster in?
I have one anyway because I'm doing that hydraulic clutch setup. So it's a Passat brake booster bracket, brake booster master, all that crap.
Oh, so you just chuck the shit in the trunk and then rerun the lines?
Yeah, I do have to do new lines. Yeah, I got to do new lines. So that's the one kind of pain in the ass with that. The car had factory disc rear brakes, which was cool. Most
nice.
base Golfs in the U.S. would have had drum. My wheels, you don't see the brakes through it anyway. To me, it's like they braked fine. I have like better front brakes. I have Mark III, like 10.1 stuff off my buddy's Cabrio. But the rear has factory discs, so I'll just pad slap that and
There
pads
you
and
go.
rotors be
Call it a
done with
day.
it. Yep.
Some new fluid. Should be right as rain.
Yep, exactly. Scott NL plate. Yeah, Netherlands plates stay with the life of the car. That's the plan.
Did it come with the plate?
No, I was hoping the guy sent it, but every country's different, and he said he needed to return it to like cancel his shit, which makes sense, I imagine.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah,
You should repop it.
it's etched in the glass.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, and there's pictures of the car for sale with it.
Yeah.
So I do have one of it repopped. I'm actually gonna do a second one because I want to do it texture black to match the bumper. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna run one on the front, but just black because the yellow looks cool on the rear. I have it under my US tag on the rear, and I'll leave that the way it is. But on the front,
No, the front that you can't. A giant.
if you do yellow, it's like, hey, I'm not running a front plate.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
But I have this giant banana.
yeah,
here
I need
instead.
it to be subtle. Yeah,
yeah, it's rather intrusive.
that system sucks. Just started looking into Austin's B3. Oh, so I didn't. Austin that we were talking about earlier has a B3 Passat, and that has like the brake booster bracket and stuff you'd need. But yeah, it has the ABS. Hey, if you need a control module for that, I got one for sale. Hit the marketplace.
That's
Real-
what I was going to
real
ask.
cheap,
How are
real
there,
good deal.
for stuff like that, like a small bracket, how is there not a company not remanufacturing like a little like
There
bullet
is.
thing?
No, there is. So like
Do
I was
they
saying, there's
suck or something or
this company called Fabless makes some sort of adapter to run a hydraulic clutch without switching the whole pedal assembly. And I don't know the details on it.
yeah, but I feel like don't get me wrong. I mean, that's cool to have, right? But I feel like people just want the bracket so they can run the other shit.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you have the other shit, you need a pedal box too.
Okay.
Yeah, you need the whole pedal cluster.
So no matter what, you're paying money.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, so like that thing.
Whatever that is.
Let's-
$200 is not bad.
No, let's just say, without going into too much detail about this particular company, they were designing some exploding control arms.
Nice. Tight.
Yeah, so I personally wouldn't want anything from them, but yeah, they're-
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah. So because that I mean,
OEM's better.
yeah,
obviously
OEM's
for like
better.
little brackets and doodads like that, like somebody's got to make a good thing.
Yeah, Tim Connors, thank you. Without just coming on here and be like, Fable sucks. Like they do suck.
But yeah, OEM stuff's always better.
Yeah.
Plus, like
If you can run it, sure.
the OEM stuff, like
No.
has the OEM thread size.
Well, and it depends.
It's
Like there's things that are made, like they make a thing that doesn't exist that's cool. They make this hood lever thing that eliminates your hood prop, and it has struts that are hidden down low, so it's not like this big intrusive thing. And it's like stuff like that. That's a custom bracket's cool.
Yeah.
To me, I don't want a custom bracket for something that already exists.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like there's got to be a company like if Volkswagen's not remanufacturing these brackets that you
You
can
all
still
right?
go and buy. I didn't
Yeah.
know which word I wanted to use. Then somebody should be able to just press it. Somebody somewhere we could, you know what I mean?
That's another thing I wanted to talk about. So my wife has this Beetle that we haven't started yet, but here's a perfect example. So it's a 64 Beetle. You can buy every nut and bolt to completely build that car from scratch. You don't even need a car to start with.
From Volkswagen.
No, not from Volkswagen, but from reputable repop companies.
I don't think
Really good repop companies.
I do not think Volkswagen is even in the right mindset to start
That's what I'm getting at.
repopping
They have
parts.
some, like there's like classic parts and stuff like from
but it's all for, is it for air cooled stuff?
no, they have
They
like
do actually
yeah,
have
like
some-
Heritage carries some OEM stuff that's like repop from classic parts, I believe.
Okay, so
Scott can speak to that better. I don't really know.
just
the
because like
details on that.
Nissan, there's a few companies that are actually kind of, let's call it, firing up the woodshed to start producing some of these older parts.
That's what I mean.
I just don't know if Volkswagen's,
I don't think they care
with the
about that.
exception of some that are already started.
No, but like eventually, do we hit a time where like a Winnie the Pooh came into the? Hey, can I finish?
Please bring me home.
It came into the open. I forget what the actual
Dude,
verbiage
Oh
is
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Where it's like it's not like copyright anymore, and people can just like
Public
Rip it.
market.
public. Yeah,
market,
Public
right,
domain.
They just
Public
ripped-
domain,
Yeah, they
yeah.
ripped the fuck off out of it.
Yeah.
So like, is there a part where old Volkswagen parts or old car parts period hit that thing where they could just be like, give us the plans and I'll literally stamp the shit.
I think a lot of repops are like that. Like I'm wondering if that's how the rain gutters that Heritage is selling now. Scott said very limited, but yeah, VW is firing up the woodshed for some water cooled parts, so that's good to hear. And I think that when the cars get older and they see that they're more desirable and more people are restoring them properly,
That's now.
I know, but
But
I'm just
I don't
saying
know
it's
if
going to
big
take a
enough. It
little bit
takes-
more
yeah.
time.
I
But
bought
like,
a bunch of shit from these guys.
yeah, Cassie's Beetle, I could literally buy everything for that car, and it's gonna be a different experience. Because for me, I also like the thrill of the chase, like finding that weird part that you can't find is
Why is
exciting.
it so cheap? A whole front end, $300.
Yeah, some of the stuff's really cheap.
But how do they? Oh, they do have Mark II. So you can't
Yeah.
go and get that little bracket here.
No, you cannot get a brake booster.
They don't
over
have
here.
every single thing. They have a lot.
They have a lot.
They have a real lot. And it's constantly kind of changing. It's going.
But you can get good sheet metal from them.
But yeah, when I was buying parts, you'd kind of check back and something would be out of stock and then it's back in stock. Then it goes out of stock. Then you see some right asshole
Bro.
selling 10 of them on Facebook Marketplace. And you're like,
because they bought
fuck.
all.
because
Yeah,
they bought them all.
Bro, I need a new pair of Carosello Pliace.
Yeah,
I was looking for polo stuff, so you kind of have to look here.
you got to look in German.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
the-
look in German. But it's just cool as shit. Like, oh yeah, like I need a new.
This looks like when
for support.
you're at the dealer
Flugel
counter
von.
and they're looking
That's-
up parts for you.
But like,
Fake as fuck. Come on.
you tell me
it's
90,
another language, dude.
Yeah, €90 you're getting
90
a
euro
new
for a
radio
whole
support.
core support.
It's pretty crazy.
No, it's not a quarter sport. That's a quadruplech. Quadruplech.
I feel like I'm looking at an IKEA catalog.
Yeah,
reading this
dude.
shit.
Yes.
You are. But it's super cool. I've looked at this a lot.
What do they
The
have for Mark
Heritage
IIIs? Just out of curiosity,
Probably a lot.
is it the whole car?
A lot of metal.
Just the whole car.
A
A
lot
lot of
metal.
replacement metal.
It's just a whole shell. It's like, if
Yeah.
you just buy this, it's
We
cheaper.
start here,
We promise.
yeah,
Ooh, where is it?
right there in the middle.
Oh, right there.
that's a shame.
I was like, thought it was gone. A lot of metal.
Just not a good looking car. Look at how quirky it is.
Oh, I love them.
I would. That's one.
Look at, oh, dude, it's every, what do you need? How many layers?
All of it. How many layers?
do
You want to
all
start at the spot weld or what?
Do all Mark IIIs kind of go like this?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you went in or out, and they both rusted.
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
Well, that's you need to have the two layers for the moisture to be held in between, so
Right,
it can
right.
kill itself from the inside out.
You want left side, right side,
You
top,
want the-
bottom.
The outer arch, the inner arch, or just the fender well? Which one do
Yeah.
you want?
Oh my
it's crazy.
god!
But hey, you know what?
I will say, like, I've never owned a Mark III GTI, and I would.
I'd love
like to.
a Windsor VR GTI would be cool.
Big shouts to Paul,
Yeah,
one
that-
of the
yeah.
last surviving members of the.
Paul has the best Mark III.
It really is the best Mark
To
III.
be fair, Paul's car or a Windsor GTI are pretty much the only ones I'd want.
I think maybe 3 weeks ago, I noticed that Corey's car did like a banana. And I'm like, is
A
this just
polo,
how
yeah.
they look? And he's like, yeah. And now I don't like them. I used to
Yeah.
love Mark IIIs. I don't like how it does this.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of how it is.
Yeah. They're weird. I had one and I just didn't enjoy it. It was different. I don't know. I like a 2 and I like a 4.
I liked my Mark III Jetta. That was a great car.
Yeah.
Love that car. It's probably a tree now. It's gone back to earth, but
It's this can right
it's.
here.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'd be
but-
shocked if it was anything.
I don't. That was traded into Maddie.
Corey, when the Polo sells, you're going to get a Mark III.
He's going to get a Fox Body Mustang.
Let's see. We got to get it to sell, baby. We got to get it to sell.
Yeah.
I'll get
Lot of strokes, Scott.
Sell that
Get a
car.
real seller.
Yeah.
Buyer.
We got a lot of talking
A
about.
lot of talking, not a lot of buying.
Yeah, there's a lot of talking, not a lot of buying.
Yep.
There it is.
That's a great car.
Great car.
Look at that car.
Wow. What a color. What a color.
It's not mulberry.
What a color.
People say it's mulberry.
I'll
It's
tell
not
you what I
mulberry.
see. Who knows what I see?
Yeah, who knows what you
It's a
see?
bronze.
Yeah. it's green or something.
No. But a lot of car.
Yep.
A lot of car from Mr. Paul.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of car.
Somebody say too much.
Yeah. The other thing with Mark II is, like, obviously the Volkswagen community in general is super tight and unlike most other brands. But Mark II specifically is like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It turns into a whole nother level of.
like
I don't even know.
Mark
Like,
II May Day, for instance, Mark II May Day was like the start of the generational micro get-togethers, on the level that it's like a full-on event and the merch, and it's like the community though. Like I said, I was looking for those weird repeater lights. Within like 20 minutes, I had a message about it. I had multiple messages, but within 20 minutes, and in multiple countries, people trying to find them. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people are just so, and just in our close-knit group of friends, like Scott, Tobias, Paul, Andy, Anthony, Chris, like the support system I have for this car is unbelievable.
the support system is multiple on multiple PVW feature cars.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the hilarious
yeah,
part
like
about
I
this.
have
is
like
just,
the fucking bat phone to build this car. It's insane.
it's a red phone
Yeah.
shaped like a Mark II.
Yeah.
Just ready to go.
Something they call it-
And these guys, I have a group message with Scott, Tobias, and Andy, and then with Chris, and then Paul and Anthony. I'll pop something in those 3 messages, and I will have every bit of information I could ever need ever in a very short time. It's unbelievable.
It's incestual.
Incestual. Yes, exactly.
But so when, kind of to tidy this up, when do you want to have it on the road? It's hard to put a date on it.
I mean, it's not hard for me. I also will be the first to admit I am not. I enjoy the process guy. I hate the process.
Yeah.
I enjoy using the car.
Yeah.
So I want to have it done for dust off. Is like the real.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not expecting dust
There's
off.
really no reason not to. I mean, everything worked on the other car.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with the wiring and crap now. The only extra step I'm doing now is like painting and powder coating some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's already at the powder coater, all the subframes and stuff. So realistically, the wiring, it all came out in a day. I think it should all go back in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And I want to test all the wiring with the battery hooked up, just make sure all the switches and everything work. And then at that point, it's just an engine swap that I've done 3 times now. So
Yeah, you've done a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
Subframe can go. All that sort of stuff can just.
yeah, exactly. So like once the wiring works and all the switches work, it's like, all right, headlights, taillights, switches work, all good to go. And then it's like, all right, slam the motor back in it.
2-door, 4-door. Do you have to redo the exhaust? Do you have to add parts to the exhaust?
Exhaust is identical.
Okay.
I did buy a new exhaust, so I bought Black Friday special Tektonics. The exhaust that was on the old car was like 3 different people's Mark III exhausts that Andy Dixon, literally like chopped up and welded together to make work for me. There was so much like coat hangers and mechanics wire holding that up. It was so bad. So that was like one of the big splurges. I bought a new exhaust for this car.
Yep.
Yeah, I bought a new exhaust. What else did I buy?
Does Tektonics make a specific like VR Mark II
So
exhaust, or is it just kind of a Mark II exhaust?
I have an OBX header, and then they make a Mark II exhaust with the flange that will just go on to, you pick your flange size. So I just bought the one that matched my OBX header. I did 2.5 stainless. 3's overkill for an NA car, and also 3-inch sucks to like get it over the rear beam and stuff. I did it on
It
the
clunks around.
Yeah. Andy did a 3-inch exhaust on the 20th for me, and that's even on a newer car. It was a mega pain in the ass. So we did 2.5 on this, and I did stainless. I'm not like a flipper guy. I don't like to sell cars. This, in theory, will be like a forever car. So it's like, buy. What's that saying?
Buy once, cry once.
Yeah, buy once, cry once. So that's what I'm doing.
What's the plan
dig
for
it.
the interior stuff? Anything?
Yeah, so the interior is super clean already. The dash had a big crack in it, but Nick Rice had multiple dashes because he's Nick Rice, and nothing is good enough. But no, in seriousness, Nick's the best. I told him, I made a comment about wanting a better blue dash because I loved that I had a blue dash, and Nick was like, I think I have one that's better than this that I'm not using, because he bought one that was really good, and then he ended up finding one that was like insanely good.
Yep.
So I got his really good one that is not quite as good as the one he's using.
Yep. But
And,
better
But
than
it's
the
still
original.
very
way better. The one I had a crack, like windshield to radio.
Wait, you're not keeping the blue dash?
I am. Yeah, I
Oh,
am.
okay.
It's another blue dash
Oh.
I got from him. Yep.
Which is just a crazy thing to find.
Yeah.
Especially in like your world. You know, it just like
Yep.
shit for the
visually
Civic. It just-
impaired? Or?
no,
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, didn't you really have to look to find it?
especially with somebody with special needs like yourself. no, I bet your fucking blue interior of the Civic.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Yeah,
the
really
blue-
bluing it up.
I really liked the blue dash, so I got the better blue dash from him. It
You
has
have blue seat belts?
blue seat belts.
Yeah.
Blue AB. I'm pretty sure it was blue. Maybe they're black. I don't even remember, to be honest. It does have traditional seat belts instead of the stupid
door?
passive restraint ones. Yeah, I hate those ones.
Yeah. I ordered blue seat belt, like a factory blue seat belt for the Civic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess they're real grimy. I got to get them cleaned, but
Yeah, so maybe I'll do
Good
that
nice
if I love what Nick did with the seats. I would probably do something in a similar fashion in the sense of like get a GTI Recaro, and I don't think I'd necessarily go through the effort of like finding all the factory fabric to do it, but I would want something that looked like the factory blue,
Something that matches.
Yeah.
Tastefully
factory
matches.
blue twill.
Yeah.
But you know, on a higher bolster seat. That would be like a long-term goal, but I'm very happy with how the interior looks as is. I like simple.
nice.
And then air ride.
Yeah, the air ride, and I like how I had the trunk built on the old car. I have a false floor. I have a full size, not a full size spare. I have a factory spare, factory toolkit, and then under my false floor, I have air tool hookup, which people use all the time because at car shows, everybody's wheels leak. I don't understand. Like, I have an air tool hookup. My wheels generally don't leak, but everybody else's do.
Yeah.
I remember at Roots, I was literally like filling people's tires from flat. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it's like, these people just tow
That's
these
crazy,
cars.
dude.
These
That's
people just
wild.
tow these
flat?
cars. These people tow these cars all over the country
Yeah.
to shows.
And just fill
And
up
drive,
tires.
drive them so infrequently that from the time that the car came off the trailer and parked inside Roots, it had 2 completely flat tires. Yeah, Scott, that's a great point. Helios blue Jetta interior and done. Helios blue interior would match the colors of the car.
Yeah.
That
Perfect.
would be pretty sweet.
That's another thing that's becoming all the money. You know,
Right.
yeah, flats and dead batteries. That too. Yeah, wave track diff. I'd love to do that eventually. That is true. The car does
Torque
massive one leg burnouts and torque steers. Yep, a lot of torque steer.
Just weld the diff, bro.
Yep, swelled the diff. Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah.
I got really embarrassed at this. There's this big car show in the town that I live in, at a construction place. A lot of people might know it's called Ryco, and they do a huge show, big hot rod show, crazy, and it's in private property, and they do this massive burnout exit every time. And I was feeling myself, you know. So I get out there.
No, you fucking
I wasn't trying to do anything crazy, but you know, give a little spin, you know. Oh, it gets better.
I'm feeling
Yeah,
I'm gonna show them who this is.
yeah. So I get out there and
You go,
I'm
remember
on
my
top.
name.
So it's like July.
Yeah.
There's been like 1,000 horsepower cars being burned out in the same spot
Boiling tires. Dude.
for hours. So I am on like, it is literally like quicksand of melting tire that
Yeah.
I'm sitting on. So obviously it was a little grippier than the standard road that I'm used to doing
Yeah.
little tire spinnies on. And I like, and it just drove away. It was so embarrassing. I actually like listed my house for sale after that. It was like really bad. No, it was so bad.
Wait, this is in the VR swapped car,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
It was like the first or second year I had the VR swap done. Andy was there. Yeah, Andy saw. It was pretty
Oh
embarrassing.
my god.
Have you guys looked at each other in the eye ever since? Or
Yeah. Well, I already knew that he has a better situation than I do. No,
Like a
Andy's
horse.
talk about those guys that went into the reactor.
Yeah.
Hammer.
Absolute unit.
Yep.
oh my god, yeah. I guess the VR6 is supposedly real torquey.
Yeah, I'll tell you. If you do it on top of a pile of melted tire from
Yeah.
a bunch of like Indy cars, it doesn't really work too well.
Yeah.
But
Well-
yeah, no, the goal is, dust off.
That's-
Off May Day.
I look forward to seeing it there.
Pretty aggressive. I mean, you're
Yeah.
well on your way, and you got the right people in the for support.
May Day's like, I really want it there, and that's just a long drive. So I want to get some seat time before that, which
Yeah.
is why, Chernobyl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. So that's
Dude, this is crazy.
wow.
Subframe.
You can get a subframe from Heritage. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty slick.
That's
I don't-
actually
I don't know what shipping's gonna run you,
yeah.
but like, if you were one of those guys who was like, I got to keep it.
It's only 236 pounds
That's
I
or whatever the hell that is.
Euros.
Euros.
I bought arches from them for the old car, and they came so fast. I'm like, how did this come faster than something I ordered from Connecticut?
actually I.
It doesn't make any sense.
Went in. I had a huge order from Heritage, and Tobias actually needed a few parts, and we ordered it all together. And I like called them up and didn't like plead with them, but I was like, I mean, I'm trying to put together one order, get everything all together, but this shipping's like out of pocket.
Yeah.
So it's, and the woman was so nice. She's like, let me see what I can do for you.
Oh, you called?
Yeah.
Huh.
And like they knocked $25 off. It's like, well, it's better than zero.
$25 is $25.
And I think it's okay. Well, it's gonna take ages to show up. Whatever. It was like less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, big box. Actually, several boxes, but yeah,
That
Showed
place is
up.
great.
yeah. It was really really cool.
Roof trims €580. Ooh.
Slim pickings for the R32.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite old enough, you know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, there's tie rod ends and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But what you have is there are so many people that literally their whole business plan is Mark IV parter routers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an entire company based around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But talking about a business plan, it's like, what are you going to do when all the anniversary cars are gone?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I see them already adding newer stuff to their offerings, which
Yeah.
it's like it makes sense. It's gonna dry up for everybody.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
But I look forward to this thing coming together.
Me too.
It's well on its way.
Look forward to having it at the Dust Off booth because apparently Josh is going to be there.
That's yeah.
Mm.
Gonna
Well,
have to
if
work
it's-
on that.
If it's ready, we can make that happen.
Listen, I'm hopefully maybe bring the Polo there.
Mm.
Maybe. I can't make any promises.
Hopefully somebody else owns it.
Yeah. Hopefully I never see it again.
If it's next to have a for sale
Hey, maybe,
sign.
maybe one of the guys that's asking me about my Euro bumpers will buy the Polo too.
No, it's just I never
Strokers?
want to see
Yeah.
it again. It's just, sometimes you're like, I don't know, if this went away, like it'd be okay if I didn't have to look at it,
Yep.
You'd feel the sadness.
Yeah. Is it
Wow.
going to turn into another Volkswagen, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an illness.
yeah.
It's an illness.
Yeah.
Just
I've never-
something. Yeah, something of a different look altogether.
Yeah.
I've
we'll
never
see.
owned a
I don't know.
Volkswagen. I feel like I'm never gonna get to own a Mark II.
You should.
It's just not in my cards.
I wanted one for like that was matter of fact. I said it at Roots while I
Yeah.
was there. It was either a Mark II or an R32. It was the only thing that would bring me back. I still would like a Mark II, but it's becoming very unrealistic.
If
rather
you want a
quickly.
Jetta, like there are
Which I
so
don't-
many good Mark II Jettas.
Yeah.
I'm just not a Jetta guy.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't
not
know.
hatchback.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I want the hatchback.
Yeah.
Daddy's a hatchback.
My
Same.
first car was a Jet. I dig him.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
And
if
like
I
you
could
said,
do
the generationally, some like I like them on certain generations better than others. In general, I'm a hatch guy.
yeah, yeah,
but they're definitely less offensive to me in certain generations.
right, for sure.
But yeah, if you were like, even in a hatch, like you could get there's some like decent shell GTIs on there. Just a matter of like what you want to get into. I was to the point where it's like I wanted these very specific options, and that's what made it more of a pain in the ass.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, because even now,
If you were willing to get a car with arch trim or a big bumper car, it's like there was a lot more out there.
we'll share some back and forth that we see,
Double-
and it's like, oh, it's
Double
not too bad.
unsubscribed. Paul has a Mark III GTI and a Mark II Jetta. Yeah. The subject of this episode is me just shitting
It's
on
just
Paul
not-
accidentally.
it's just not
completely unintentionally talking about how I think everything that Paul has sucks.
I
I
think
don't know. He came in here with a game plan.
this could be a me thing, but my problem with buying, I think, a Volkswagen right now is if you end up with any car in the New England area, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could just go down the street and find one. As soon as I show up to a show, they'll be like, "Oh, that's Billy's old car."
Well, yeah, that's why you just buy one from the Netherlands.
You have to. There's no other option because that's one of my pet peeves. Because no matter what, it'll always be fuckface's old car. It'll never be your car. You could change
Well,
everything on it.
Just,
I don't know.
No, I mean, there's cars that are iconic for sure that like people know, but it's like if you buy like Jimmy from New Bedford's car that had plasti dipped wheels and a fucking Dapper sticker,
Like
it
that
doesn't
dude-
matter. You know, it's
that
like
dude
Yeah,
who
but-
got pulled over.
yeah,
But they're
yeah.
still gonna be like, "Oh, that's that fucking kid's old car." I hate
No,
that.
but if you
Not if you make it cooler.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's definitely with Volkswagens, like OEM Plus is a big thing. There's not a ton of cars that have these like very specific mods that you could say like, oh, that's definitely the same car. You know, I know what you're saying for sure because I wouldn't want to buy. There's built cars.
you don't
that I see
necessarily
that-
want to buy
yeah.
anybody's project ever.
Yeah.
yeah,
But like, yeah,
It's like when you see like the crazy Shave Bay cars. Sometimes you see like great cars. Like I know that car's really well built and that's in my budget, but it's like, yeah, like I don't want to be driving.
That
that
guy's
would be
car.
like Chris Reese's car. It's like
Right,
I don't
yeah,
want to be
no,
driving
that's
Chris
Chris's-
Reese's
yeah.
GTI if he ever sold it. Not that
It's-
he ever would, but
it's such an interesting thing to me at times, especially when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna, do this swap, shave the bay." Like, okay, cool, you're making that car unsellable after the fact.
isn't that crazy how Paul bought that guy Ollie's car? And now it's like, and now Paul just has this other guy's car.
This other guy, everyone just knows.
He's just his fist is in the sky right now. For those
He
who,
probably isn't here because he unsubscribed already.
yeah, it's
Oh,
true.
true, true.
For those who don't, Shook, do you know the story of this?
no.
He
Okay,
definitely
so
wouldn't.
Paul is from London.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
He had said Mark III in London,
Back in the home country.
moved over here to the US of A, left the car there. So left and sold the car.
Okay.
But he has the car now. So what does that mean, Shook?
It made its way here.
He bought it back off of that guy Ollie, who John was
Yep.
referencing,
He sold it to a friend.
I get it.
who
now.
kept it in.
Yep. And I don't even think it was, I think when he moved here, I don't even think it was technically eligible yet to import.
I do not believe so.
It was
no.
probably like right on the line.
Is it here now?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yep.
It's the car I brought up earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They all
It's a
look the
really
same.
cool story. And Ollie did a lot of like neat touches on it that Paul maybe wouldn't have necessarily done himself, but like super, like the trunk build is insane on it.
Damn.
It's like the coolest ice
Bought, not
setup.
built. Shame.
Yeah. But yeah, like,
Personally, I don't. I mean,
I have like one of the bumpers from that car in my garage right now that also a bunch of strokes have been messaging me on because I'm trying to sell it for him. Because like I figured, oh, there's more people up near us than down by you.
Right. Right.
Bunch of people want to talk about this rear bumper. Anyone need a Mark III rear Euro bumper?
Want to talk about
Hit
the
me
bumper?
up.
They
Yeah.
don't
Sell
want
it.
to buy the
They
bumper.
I
wanna
don't
buy
really
it.
want to sell it. I just want to talk about it. So
Okay.
send me a message. We'll chat about it.
Just foreign messages like, my grandfather used to have one of those. It was crazy. I used
Yeah.
to ride in his Jetta when I was a kid. We used
got
to get
hot
ice
dogs.
cream.
Exactly.
when the fuck did we get ice cream?
Yeah.
Just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Well.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Would you ever buy a car built, 30 built ever, even if nobody knew the guy?
I don't. It depends on the level. Like I would buy a car that.
Like a grassroots car
restored.
show, grassroots car show build.
No, I don't think so. No. I would buy like a car that's like fully restored. I wouldn't buy a heavily modified car. But like I would buy like say a Mark II, say like my car was like rotisserie rebuilt or something. Like
Yeah.
I would buy that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I wouldn't want to
to
buy like a Shave Bay car.
No, would you? No.
It depends. There's a level. There's a level once they've gone so far that you can't undo it or change it in any way. Then no.
Or if it has some super specific change that it's like forever
One of one
that
kind of thing.
car. Yeah. What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
No, because I feel like it's similar to just I don't know. It's like getting cuckolded.
It's like pulling up a chair in a hotel. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like if I'm gonna do the car thing, I want to build the car.
Yeah, and even for me, like I said, I don't like the process, and I'll be the first
I
to
love
admit
the
it.
process. I think more than the.
See, that's what
Yeah, you
Tobias
clearly-
Tobias. I talk to him about all the time, and he loves like really digging in on these details. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't wait until I can just start this and
Drive it.
go to Cumberland Farms with it.
Corey and I were talking about what Toby massages his door moldings with. Previous to you arriving.
Yeah.
I also like really enjoy the process. Like
Yeah.
I enjoy the hunt for the parts.
I enjoy the hunt of the parts.
That I don't like.
I enjoy. I
do
love the
like
hunt for
that.
the parts. I love getting the parts in. I love stockpiling the parts. I love taking everything apart. Then like
Yeah.
you've got nothing, and now you take all your new parts and you like
Figure
assemble
out
them.
how it was
There's-
supposed to be bolt on, but it just absolutely wasn't
Yeah.
bolt on.
There's definitely stages of it that are exciting. Like right now, like that video you showed, like in my garage with like all my shelves of parts. It's
Yeah.
like, this is exciting. Like there's so much opportunity in
And then
here.
as soon as you're under the car, you're like,
and then like April 23rd, I'm gonna be like, fuck this thing.
yeah. As soon as the wrench slip once, you're like, I'm parting it out.
Yeah.
Parting it out.
If I wanted like a big old Cam having hot dog burnout making some bitch and ride,
Yeah.
I'd buy something like that because I don't want to mess with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
oh, cool. I just want this fucking lug machine and have fun with it.
Yeah, like I would buy a car like that Cutlass Chris built.
Right.
Like I would buy
Does
an
he still
LS
have that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I would
dude,
buy
so
I would
good.
buy an eBay Turbo LS swapped Cutlass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
because
a
it's kind of
heartbeat.
just a generic. It's really cool,
Yeah.
but it's not. There's nothing there that says Chris.
Exactly.
Like that car is just. It's cool,
yeah.
and you could buy that, and no one really knows it has any relation to.
And it's going to be way cheaper than me finding an LS and finding a Cutlass and spending the time to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Yeah,
I could
there's-
see there's like a use case.
I
Right?
was going to say the application.
Like you want a
makes lot
burnout
of
machine to
sense.
get hot dogs in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to pick
Right.
up some fucking
Or hell,
ridiculous.
you know, again, this gets a little bit different, but if it's a race car that's proven from someone, and I mean that by like the safety stuff, the cage is properly, you know, it's if Nils built the cage, like cool, we're good.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if you want a race car, something specific, all right, that kind of makes sense.
Sure.
If, hey, I don't want to fuck with that for the next 2 years. I want to
Yeah.
get out there and you
Yeah,
know,
like a
flip it on my
Like
own
a
terms.
$15,000 base that you could pick up for like
Right. But
a
if
couple
you're
grand.
I almost teeter on that. Well, if it's going to be a show car based type of thing, no, you want a clean slate
Clean
that you
slate.
start from.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. What I do want now moving forward though is definitely a car where I could do the Tobias thing where you like nitpick.
You want a
every-
long term tinkerer?
Yeah, where
What
like
would that platform be for you?
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't think you had an answer. I was just
No, I don't. But I do want something where I'd be like, okay, I really like how this looks, but like I want that specific door trim, and I'm not gonna move past this point until I find that door trim.
Boy, do I have something for you.
I'm not in the market for anything right now.
20 valves of fury.
Yeah, ready to go.
I don't know what it'd be. I think it would definitely be boxy and old.
I guess
For
I'm
sure.
Boy, does he have something for you.
Right now, dude, I just want to get the Civic back together. I want a sand-free engine. Yeah. Preferably that doesn't look like it dragged a lake.
It's used for magnet fishing.
I hope you can get that.
Yeah. I really do hope that kind of pans out.
Oh,
And we'll find out next week, I think.
I hope so. I picked up a Flash Pro for it, a header.
You're buying parts, but you don't even have the engine.
Yep, and I have an intake.
You don't have the money for it.
So the
You're like,
the last thing I need is the post mount, and then I could just fucking slap it right in there.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not trying to do anything crazy with it. Like I think I just want to do like one of those you know where the car's like absolutely not clean, but it's like a race car and you're like that thing's fucking kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going for.
Mm.
It does not need to be perfect, but when you look at it you're like that fucking thing fucks on the track.
Got a vibe to it.
That was like the old Mark II. People would always be like, "Oh my god, that thing's so awesome!" And like, I hate that the word. This is always a pet peeve. The word "clean" is like just this adjective that
around.
people throw around. Like, "Oh, bro, that car's so clean." I'm like,
It's got
This-
rust, but it's
like,
clean.
Like, no, this car literally looks like this is a quote from Fuzzy's dad. This car literally looks like somebody drank paint and pissed it on, and it did.
love
It did.
that.
That's how it looked.
I fucking hate when
You
people
gonna
are like,
put,
"The car looks clean, bro," and the quarter panels are not
that's
there.
how this was. Like there was, you could
Literally
literally just remove chunks of the car.
Yeah.
You going
Clean,
to
bro.
re-add the bullet hole stickers?
No bullet hole stickers on this one. No. I do have a new back window sticker that Danielle, Tobias' wife, got me. That's amazing. It's a Chapel Roan sticker.
yeah.
Yep. It's really great.
I'm excited for you.
Me too. So that's gonna go on the back
You're
window.
gonna just be blasting that, going to get yourself some ice cream.
Yeah, Pink Pony Club, getting some ice cream. The old car had the My Other Car is also a giant piece of shit sticker. So now this is gonna be the one silly sticker on the car.
Yeah.
Gotta have one silly sticker.
DHP 192 says, "Shook is why I drove to Jersey to pick up an engine." Yeah, I can't stress this enough. You should probably just go look at them.
Yeah, at the very least,
You're
pick
gonna
one-
buy from a
like
depot.
picking out a fresh Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You want to go.
You want a Christmas vacation, that bitch?
See, like, for spoiler alert for me, I'd look at him like, "Yep, that's an engine." I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm looking at that's good or bad.
I mean,
Well, you could clearly
I
see
think-
if one lived on the ocean floor.
yeah, I
or
think
not.
if you remove 10 millimeter bolts and just quickly browsed under the valve cover,
Yeah, you could see.
be like, "That's milk, and that probably shouldn't be here," or "That's sand, and that belongs at the beach."
Okay, fair enough.
So like my last email to them was like, "Hey, so this is costing you money and it's wasting me time. I'll ship this." I literally said in my email, "I'll ship this back as many times as you guys are going to take it back because it doesn't cost me a dime.
They're like, "All
Can
right,
you
send,
just look at the next one
send
and
them
just
the
be
one
like,
full of peanuts next."
you know, it could be, I don't care if Crazy Eyes looked at it. Looks good to me. As long as there's no milk and no sand,
Or
fucking
seaweed.
send it my way."
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see the pictures of mine? I'll show you after.
I don't think so.
It's just imagine a milkshake, a swamp monster, the beach, and then on the second one looked like somebody took a shit, blended it, and poured that in his engine oil.
So you're waiting for a third.
A third
so
engine.
you're buying long blocks or something? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be guaranteed.
Are you buying it from
40?
Are you buying these from Jasper?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, good.
Is that a Volkswagen guy?
No, it's like it's an engine remanufacturing place that
Oh, no,
sells
no.
shit.
It's a
It
engine
sounds.
depot.
It sells like basically like what you're buying.
It's a JDM engine depot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I genuinely
Yeah,
think
it's
what's
JDM
happening
Jasper.
is they're getting them
He's.
and they're moving these things out
This is what he said. to me.
just so like
Yeah, they don't. He's like, we get them from a warehouse and distribute them.
yeah,
They're just a company that sells it.
yeah.
He's like, they don't. The amount that are coming in and going out, they don't even take
It'd be
time to look at it.
Unrealistic, right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, it's costing you money. At this point, it'd be cheaper for them to let me keep this one because shipping it back and shipping a new one, if they just shipped the new one and didn't ship this one back,
Yeah, they're just washing the old one and
They'd
mailing it back to you, though.
exactly. I was like, damn, wouldn't it be crazy if I popped the valve cover off and it was the same goddamn one?
Yeah, you gotta like etch something.
I was
was
like, do I
yeah.
put a note in there
Yeah.
just in case?
Yeah. Ha ha.
Got him.
Got
Got
ya.
me. They're just gonna pop the valve cover off and power wash the doo doo caca out
I
of
did
there.
that with a key at work the other day under the battery cover. I just put a little smiley face so I'll know if the guy tries to give me the wrong key back.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Love that.
Solid play.
Yep. I can't wait to call him and pop that cover off for me.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
that?
Yeah, so hopefully, I don't know, we get that. I'd like to drive that car this summer.
I'd love for you to drive that car.
Yeah,
this summer.
yeah. Fingers crossed it all pans out for both of you. You know,
I didn't think I'd miss it, but I miss it.
drive your machines.
Yep.
Yeah, drive your machine. I'm kind of like John though. I just want to drive the. It could be fucking raining, and I want to drive the BMW.
Yeah. No, like every time we go anywhere,
I'm
it's
like,
like,
should I
want to take
take-
the Mark II?
Yeah. I'm always like, should I
I use it
take
all
this?
the time.
You have actually because you've driven
Yeah.
it to multiple
I
donut
drove it
meets.
all over. Yeah,
You still have to perform a
burnout. Yeah.
legacy burnout.
My concern with your car's mostly stock. Mine's like, well, if I break an axle 75 miles from home, that sucks.
Or you just
Yeah.
park it
I have
outside
a
like you
welded
did.
diff.
Like you
Yeah, and
did.
catch a ride home from
Yeah.
one of the boys.
Yeah.
But it's like every time I drive it, it's like, what's gonna break this time?
Right. It's a different monster.
I think, and I appreciate cars that are to the level of yours in that way too. But I think that's a lot of the decision for me to not build a car like that is I know I need that peace of mind that like
It's just the welded diff. Never
Yeah.
weld the diff. It sucks.
Okay. I'm gonna get that thing that guy said. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a wave track.
Wave
Wave
track
track.
diff.
Wave
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
Solid. It's a solid investment. long term.
Dude, I never had issues,
And
and
then
I
I'll be
welded it.
back to do a burnout at the car show.
that's the redemption.
Yeah.
That's like the Tosh.0 redemption story.
Yeah, it's gonna like Kill Bill.
I'll right before you leave, I'll put a little tire shine on them for you. So
Yeah,
you can really get them
perfect.
going.
Yep.
Just put
can
put
use some of
snows
that.
on the front.
We can use some of that dust they use for gender reveals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put some
While I'm blasting Pink Pony Club.
Rainbows.
put
Yeah.
some snows on the front and just let it rip.
I would really love for it to do that like slow, wet tire noise where it's like, like as it builds speed.
And on that note, John, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was a lot of
It
fun.
was a pleasure. Everybody out there for Mark II stuff, follow John. He's doing some cool stuff. The info is out there to keep these cars moving and going, and I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of really good friends who will keep these things alive for an extended period of time. I do not want to admit it.
Do you like them?
No. Like we are
Love 'em.
the absolute every old man I made fun of and call a boomer. Like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
that it's happening. We're there.
And
We're the
most of
last
the
frontier.
people are like so pumped to just like talk about it. So it's like somebody has a question or whatever. Everything I learned from it's not just friends. Like you see somebody with a car with a cool thing you like, hit them up, and like chances are they'll be cool about it.
Yeah.
So
It's a great community overall. So, with that said, I think that's going to do it for us this week. We'll probably be back next week. I think
Why would we not be?
it'll just be you and I. So if you're not going to make it, it's just me, and we'll take a week off.
No, I'm good. I don't have
Okay.
anything crazy going on.
Okay, we'll make that happen.
Chuck and
Make
I won't be
something.
here.
Yeah, boys
That
are.
sucks. My new I didn't say this in the last podcast, but I have moved my work days around so I could be here earlier.
This guy.
It works
See?
out.
Makes it happen.
Got here and the traffic fucked me, but
But no, we got here in time for us to go grab food. So
still earlier than
Yeah.
usually.
makes sense.
Which
Yeah.
is nice.
So with that said, thanks everybody in the chat. Big shouts to
Thank you.
all those who support us. ReviveWondering.com, where you can sign up for the B4B.
listen to topics under the stairs.
You can listen to Topics
Yes.
on the Stairs every Monday.
Yep.
Right?
Live,
Or
on,
live on
Thursday,
Thursday.
Episodes on Monday. On
What do you
streams.
who's coming in tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have
AKA today.
we have a repeat guest, Barry Wilson, comedian, very funny guy. I was pumped to have him back on. It worked out with the schedule to come on this week.
Perfect. So you can check that out on their channel. And then if not, you listen to them on Monday as well. So big shouts. We'll see you all next week.
Later.
That's all I got.
Peace.
Peace.